my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah, facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in, waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. You're still waking up and coming, but I know you know we won't make it. Lacking all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away. Facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in, waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better.
Hello and welcome to the Dota Pro Circuit, where we are here with the last remaining region, and it is the Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. My name is Nomad, and join me on my panel to jump into today's game. We have got Lacoste and Lizard. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Every single day we're doing good. I don't remember, that someone said, yeah, we're doing so bad, I'm feeling sick, whatever. No, every single time we're doing good, okay, because we are pretty much, We have some good Dota ahead of us, like Chinese region has been very competitive, so looking forward to this one. Like yesterday and the day before, games were a bit one-sided as expected, but today should be pretty hype.
Yeah, you can say that today we're feeling a little bit better or a little bit more hype than usual, at least, because everyone will be watching the series.
It's been a while as well. It's been a while since I feel like we've had this big series which decides so much, and two big teams which really kind of they're just going to be battling, and they have the quality to both take the games of each other. This is one of the first series in a while, I feel like, where I really don't know who's going to come out on top. And of course, it is
yeah, you
Elephant
knew
versus
all
Vici
the ones
Gaming.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why you
100%
were the
prediction
king
rate.
all the time,
Every
right?
day,
Yeah, of
every
course.
day. But no, I mean, Elephant versus Vici Gaming is a series we've got on our plates today. This is a very critical series for many different reasons, but mostly, we're just here to see Elephant, are they going to kick it into gear yet? They have been showing signs of promise, but every single time they keep on falling short. Is this the time where they finally get their act together in the DPC?
This has to be the time for them. It's no longer a joke. You can't even mess around any longer. You need to take this game versus Vici Gaming to even up the scales, to get rid of that angst, that situation in which you aren't even going to the majors. So if you're Elephant, yeah, this is it.
I feel like you've been asking the same question, like, is it time for Elephant? Question number one, same question. But yeah, they definitely have to step up in this one. It's going to be hard because Vici Gaming looked super strong. And Vici Gaming, they either win 2-0 or they lose 0-2. So looking like a 2-game series.
All right, that's not what I expected, but, you know, fair enough. The stats back you up. To give you guys some context, let's take a look at the scoreboard and how everything's looking right now, and you will see, of course, Team Vici looking to draw up with Astra. If they win today, that will make them 5-1, but currently they are 4-1, and if they lose, they will then draw with Elephant, because Elephant will win this series and then be 4-2, and Vici will also be 4-2, so really tighten things up if Elephant can make that victory happen. Of course, if they lose, then they're going to be probably drawing with LGD. LGD are facing eHome tomorrow. Everything's very complicated in this region right now. We don't really know anything. It's the second to last week, and we're still figuring stuff out. But overall, it's very tight in this leaderboard.
Yeah, in this leaderboard, like Lacoste said, they've only lost once, and that was 0-2. Recently, they have played versus lower division teams, versus SAG, that's probably going to be promoted anyway. They played versus CDEC as well, and they dropped a game there, but it's a different approach.
They lost to CDEC.
Did they lose the full series?
Yeah, they did.
I thought, damn, I thought they only dropped a game there.
To CDEC.
All right, all right. That
I have that in my notes, you know, in CDC, they're third in the lower division, so no surprise there. A team that has some familiar names on it, looking very promising, potentially a candidate to go
and
play
I was
upper
about
division.
to praise them for that series, because I watched one game, I saw them win, and I'm like, okay, this is... I put this one in the Vici's bag, didn't even... All right.
We were joking before, you know, because I did my notes.
Yep.
Yesterday, and you guys were doing it, you know, in our green room, you guys were doing notes right before they started, so, like, you should have the freshest update, but it's...
Maybe, all right. What I did see, though, however, is from DY and PYW in the series versus CDC and in the series... in the other series versus SAG, they came up with some different styles, with some different heroes that they played.
Bounty Hunter,
Hunter,
I know what you're gonna
I actually watched
say.
that game. It was yesterday in the morning. I don't know, for all of you that wake up 8 a.m. Europe time, there's still some FDC tournaments going on, and these teams are battling it out. And I'm still making my coffee and looking at that Bounty Hunter is owning. Like, he was doing really well. I think it's one of the ways to answer the Alchemist, who is also a very hot topic. What do you think? Is he going to be contested today?
Oh, for sure. Like, this is a straight-up pick or ban hero. But I love the approach. Bounty Hunter, you know, Alchemist gets the extra gold. You steal that extra gold, and you kind of nullify that.
True, true. It's all about economics. But talk to me a little bit more about Vici Gaming and where this team's strengths lie. What is it that makes them stand out for you guys?
For me, it's their support duo, PYW and DY, complementing each other nicely. They know what needs to be done. A lot of stacking, good early rotations, just very stable. Position 4 and 5. I would maybe compare them back in the old days with FY and Fenrir. Also, like, Fenrir is their coach. I don't think that was listed on Wikipedia before it. I don't think I've seen him on camera. So yeah, he's been in Vici Gaming for a really long time. You know, he's pretty much the name of the Vici Gaming. He got second place at the TI4 as well with Vici Gaming. So yeah, a lot of experience just coming out from the coach. One thing that I really like about Vici Gaming, one of my favorite players also, 11. He's like coin flip. You never know what's
The
what's
old
gonna come
11.
from old 11, young 11. He shows up one day. He's either like the best player in the whole game or pretty much the worst. It is like that. That's why I love the player.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. I wonder which side we're getting today. Lizard, what's your main comments about Vici Gaming?
They've been looking very, very solid from the beginning of the tournament. I had my doubts at the beginning because they opened up with Magma and LBZS, so I wasn't really sure how good they were because they also lost the series versus IG. But if the draft is right, they look extremely strong, almost unstoppable.
This is something that I wanted to talk about also. Like Vici Gaming, they started playing against Magma, against LBZS, and I think it's better playing against like these weaker teams. You get to do easy wins, and then you have a momentum, like you have a boost of confidence, even though you know you're playing against like a lower skill teams that don't have that much experience, but it's still a great boost for you. You know, you're sitting there with 2-0, and then you're playing a next series. Unlike Elephant, like they played against IG, they played against Aster, their first series. So these are like the best teams in the China
It's always
right
better
now.
to warm up a little
For sure,
bit, to take it easy, do the easiest tasks first. However, if you're someone like TNC, it might cost you even a major, right? Because they
True.
played versus Execration. Everyone won versus Execration afterwards, but because that first series they learned what Execration does the best, that's the Medusa, and they lost to it.
A very critical series.
Yeah, it can
and
be. Yeah, the league is unforgiving, at least
It
this
really
format. And if you lose versus these teams that aren't considered top 3, suddenly you don't have a shot anymore.
All right, let's talk about Elephant, because of course this team, you know, they were just winning every single tournament before the DPC. And since coming into the DPC, well, they have not been performing to the standard we would have hoped. And every single series, it feels like we're saying the same thing. When are they going to step up? When are they going to wake up? When are they going to return to the form which we know these guys can play at? And so far, the answer has been, well, not really yet. Slowly, they've been improving each series. You know, their last series was quite convincing versus eHome, but is still eHome, a team which has not been looking strong.
Yeah, they won versus PSG LGD as well, and when you look at the teams that they've opened up with, it's, I think Lacoste mentioned it, it's Aster and IG. That's who they lost to, and those teams looked really, really formidable in the first couple of weeks of the tournament. So, you know, Elephant, they still have this new position 5 Red Panda. That's probably the biggest question that we all have about them, right? Like how much can he actually accomplish from a position 5 when he is not considered like this superstar like everyone else?
Yeah, I feel like it's very hard for them to just be in this situation where you're playing against with all these veterans that have proven themselves to be top players for years, and then you come up with pretty much no experience at all, and suddenly you're playing 5. Most of the time 5 is the captain, he is the shot caller, what needs to be done. So, you know, could be a bit tricky, a lot of nerves there, you know, because you want to perform, you want to give your best, and sometimes, you know, trying to give your best, in the end you underperform.
But I'd like to talk about some of these all-star players, because, you know, we've got a team with Somnus, with FY, Yang. Now, these guys have pulled off some serious results in the past, but none of them have really stepped up yet in this DPC. No one has put in an outstanding all-star performance yet in this all-star team. Do you think anyone's come close, and who should we be looking at in this series?
In the last series probably that we watched, it was Yang that pretty much carried the game from the offlane. Somnus is the one that the first series, when they opened up, I believe they won 1 game versus IG. He looked on fire. He was dominating with that puck that was still broken as a hero.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like a different.
You're talking about the Weaver game?
Yeah. It's like it's like a different player is playing. It's like someone else.
I've definitely not seen something from Somnus like that performance on Weaver. He really did not feel comfortable playing the hero, overextending, like trying to find something on the map, fighting without a BKB. It was just like someone else was, you know, playing on his account, because it's a huge difference. Like he gave it to some random pub guy. Like, yeah, you play instead of me, because it was really rough to watch. Somnus, like whenever you think about like Somnus, you know that he's gonna perform. Like he has a ton of experience, just overall like great laner and everything, and then he shows up with the Weaver. Maybe What they've been doing is they did not try to flex many heroes. Like the biggest flex I've seen so far from them is like Lycan on the offlane, which is pretty much standard these days.
Yep.
And they tried to mess up with the roles a bit, swap things around. Didn't work out for them, so maybe that could be the issue. So I just think for Elephant, it's the best if they keep things simple.
Keep it simple, keep it cookie cutter, and don't get too carried away with things is what Lacoste wants for Elephant, and we'll see what they go for in this draft as we jump into the first game of the series. And first of all, I think the puck is going to be an interesting one to look at for this series because Vici Gaming did show that they could beat it in their last series. They led it through twice, they picked up the Shaman twice, and that seemed like a really good answer.
Meta is switching a little bit. It's shifting. The tectonic plates right now, they're moving, and Alchemist is one of the things that's coming out with an Earthquake. So I'm just expecting different things. Like you can see from Elephant, the first two bans, Phoenix definitely expected. Oracle has been made in this league. He's 15 games, I believe, 14 wins. So that's one of the reasons why he's banned out in the first stage. On the side of Vici Gaming, Undying as well, something that Elephant have started playing, and in the last series they've played on position 5 and won with. Monkey King, however, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, they really love their Undying, and they also played against eHome Undying Winter Wyvern combination, which I'm not a big fan of, but there were some really sick curses. So let's see what they decide to pick up. Mirana, okay, I love that. I would just not be surprised if Vici Gaming opens up with Shaman. This hero has been their bread and butter pretty much from position 4. Great against all the spirits. Just if you remember the game against Aster, when they had the Shaman Tide, Witch Doctor, Shadowfiend, and Drow, he was doing heavy lifting.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was not about the other heroes, it's about him pretty much being able to use his spell multiple times in a team fight, and Tidehunter actually allows him to do that.
Okay, they go with the Mars, something for old 11, nothing extraordinary. The opening is pretty solid. We also have seen a lot of Mars Miranas, so breaking up that combo, which isn't the best combo ever, but in the lane it can be formidable. So.
And I like that they banned out the Undying. If they're going to go pick one of these strength offlaners, which to us most offlaners are, the Undying is something which Elephant have been playing a lot with recently, so they just get that out of there.
I'm just wondering, Alchemist and these heroes such as Weaver that I have seen teams pick up more and more often in the Chinese region, like Weaver position 1, is that something that is picked only in certain circumstances?
Yeah, I feel like when you have those supports who are very squishy, when you need to cut into backlines, when they don't have enough stuns, Weaver just feels like a really good hero. And something we've seen quite a lot in China, just the saving position 5s, like you talked about the Oracle, Abaddon is the one. Lanham kind of introduced it, at least to us in the first couple of games, showed the full potential. It also could be a steal pick from Elephant. We've seen Abaddons multiple times against Mirana, just completely nullified
it's
that
so
arrow.
old school. Abaddon versus Mirana is so old school.
And it also blocks possibly the Shadow Shaman pick that Vici Gaming really likes, so I want to see if they go for it.
They still
go for it. It's just,
Yep,
it's just that strong,
Makes sense, makes sense. Yeah, by the way, just to mention, CDEC did win that series versus Vici, and interestingly, CDEC actually ran an Alchemist IO strat versus them, with the IO in the core and the Alchemist
you know
in the
what I
offlane,
noticed yesterday? I didn't even notice. I was talking to Fog, we're playing a pub. Why is Acid Spray 16-second duration on level 1, on all levels? I didn't even know that. Sometimes you just, you've been playing Dota for so long, you forget about things. That's actually almost 2 waves. You can't enter that. It's so ridiculous.
There are some
Super
things
fun.
that are bad, but you get used to them, and then you kind of just ignore them. I guess I just have to suffer through it, and that's it.
No, but why 16 seconds duration of a level 1 spell just seems super broken. Especially if you pair that up with possibly Enigma, which we have seen. Midnight Pulse, Acid Spray, it covers half of the screen AoE damage, which you do not want to enter.
New strategies, carpet damage. Just lay down a nice carpet of damage.
We won't see that carpet damage coming from either one of these teams. Vici Gaming, they do ban out the Alchemist. Meanwhile, Elephant going, way back with the OD ban. We haven't seen this hero picked or banned in a week, pretty much, right? So this time around, they eliminate him. And there's also the Dead Prophet ban. Dead Prophet, we haven't really talked about this hero, but the Stonks are rising, and these Chinese teams, everyone pretty much has to play her. They play her so much that Shadow Fiend is coming back into the meta because of her as well. So
That probably is just one of the strongest heroes right now. You know, you can flex it in any lanes. We see it a lot of the times as like a potential like counter pick to the laning stage of some of the strongest heroes, like Troll, where you don't care about the axes. You have this like scaling ability. That Prophet's just overall one of the, I think, best heroes. Like it does so much. Like you have silence, you have wave clear, roche taking potential. You can flex it to 5. That some teams also done. Even though I feel like, you know, you still need to get the farm on the hero.
I just love a hero which gives you that kind of objective taking ability. You know, it makes the game so simple. And I think that's genuinely, like, when you're playing at such a high level, just having that, okay, we've got this, let's go moment is valuable.
now, if you're a team that's coming up, if you're like some Division 2 team, picking heroes such as that Prophet and Dragonite makes everything more simple and easier to execute. Every time you have that ulti, you rally around that. I know that because I've experienced the same situation and went through it. So picking those kind of heroes does definitely make the game a lot more simple for yourself. So
But also more predictable.
more predictable, definitely. But sometimes when the hero is strong, you can predict all you want, and you still aren't able to do anything.
She's
going
going to run down our lane and kill us.
Yeah.
She ran down our lane and killed us.
Killed us, yeah,
Oh, well.
exactly. We have the Beastmaster ban from Vici Gaming, and I like this ban a lot from Elephant. The Medusa, we've seen Vici Gaming just pop off with the Mars plus Medusa combo. I believe Shadow Shaman, yeah, Shadow Shaman was also in that same draft. That's the draft that they won versus
Well, there's
Aster
Puck.
Witred.
There's Puck available, right?
Yep.
Am I seeing that correct? I would not be surprised if like Vici Gaming just takes it. They banned out the Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
Great against the Baron, just the silence. They have tools to control the Baron against Mirana, even though if it's most likely going to be like position for Mirana. She doesn't like to play into silence, into leash
Coil.
mechanic. Just they don't have enough, like these two heroes, 4 and 5, very easy to exploit. Either one of the spirits or Puck feels really good for Vici Gaming here. Would prefer Puck.
They can wait on it though, right? Because they kind of want Elephant to pick Puck, it feels like. You know, they've run the Shaman into the Puck a few times.
But if you pick Puck, then all the spirits feel like really bad. Like
Elder
not
Spirit.
necessarily in the laning stage,
Yeah.
Void Spirit does well, but once you hit that level 6 on Puck, the tables turn. They
Yeah.
go with the Elder Titan. Me and Lizard, we're like coming to the office. We're talking about Elder Titan. Why is this hero not picked? I'm not making this up. Lizard can back me up.
100%. I agree.
100% pure truth.
Yeah.
We would
See,
not
they're
lie.
being sneaky
Never
here, because
lie.
I could call them out, but they don't talk in English when they talk to each other, so I actually can't call them out.
No, you actually did hear me talk about Elder Titan in the green room with Alex. He watched my stream last night.
True,
Uh,
true.
Yeah, I literally played Elder Titan yesterday. I played him on offlane, but I still feel the hero is just strong on any position, right? Like position 5, 4 offlane.
He does
it's
well,
good.
especially if there's like nothing to purge off the spirit, no Oracle, no Enchantress, and this is what I talked about. They're possibly preparing for a Puck pick coming out from the Vici Gaming.
Looks good. Although, that said, this has been a pretty 50-50 matchup. the
Yeah,
Puck
we
versus
have seen
Void.
Void Spirits. Even in the lane you do well, and then after the lane you're the one that's actually hunting, or the puck just doesn't succeed in that first kill on you with the Dream Call, and everything falls
Yeah,
apart
I
for
mean,
him.
it's not that heavily
Yeah.
favored in the lane for Void Spirit, 55-60, I would say, but then Puck just takes over.
Yeah, my problem is in this game, even okay, you pick Puck here, he can take over, but you're also playing into Abaddon. He can break that leash, he can heal up and shield up the Void Spirit. Still though, Puck is an amazing hero, and I wouldn't mind seeing him on Vici Gaming. What I would like to see from them, however, more is some more damage in this Mars arena. They have enough catch. You have the Shadow Shaman, you have the Mars. They go with the Shadow Fiend. This is something. Yeah,
Interesting.
this is
Now
a
they
bit
go with
more
the Shadow
interesting, yeah.
strat. Shadow Fiend, Shadow Shaman. Do we have anything else?
Shadow Demon.
Oh,
There you go. We know the last pick. Better ban it out. Yeah, there's some cool shenanigans here as well with the fear from the ulti from the SF plus the arena, but I mean that's very minor. We're more thinking about the big picture here and what the Shadow Fiend brings to this draft, which is
Well, usually I would say that this Shadow Fiend was picked to counter something on that mid lane when you lack that damage, but right now he's not necessarily countering anything. He's just bringing the damage.
oh no, he's very good. Like when Void Spirit was first introduced, like one of the heroes, like one of the 3 heroes that were considered super good that the Void Spirit could not lane into was a Shadow Fiend. And they have a great like synergy, Mars Arena with the fear mechanic that just works really, really well. Like we've seen Mars and ET also paired up a couple of times, the easy setup with the Earth Splitter. So they're
not your biggest combo,
yeah,
right?
not the biggest
still
combo,
nice.
but it's still fairly easy to execute. It's not, you know, Faceless Void plus ET where they're definitely not moving, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
So Elephant, they also could possibly start thinking about getting some gap closers because it's a possibility that they get this Drow Ranger Shadow Fiend strat that they've ran and it looked super good. It was pretty much the same lineup type of a thing. Instead of a Tide Hunter, they have Mars, but it was like Shaman, Witch Doctor instead of ET. So looking very similar.
Very similar, 2 out of 4
Yeah,
heroes.
so they flex the Void Spirit because they know it's a bad matchup.
Yeah, that's pretty solid from them as well, and it's one of the things that Void Spirit does bring to the table is that flexibility.
You
early
definitely
on.
ban Drow Ranger here, I think, because Void Spirit also doesn't lane well. I've seen like these offlane Void Spirits, a lot of those in like CIS region when Drow Ranger is a bit more popular. He doesn't get the lane into her. Like you don't do anything. Like especially with the Mirana, it's just gonna be a very tough lane, I would say.
Yeah, the thing is, Elder Titan plus Drow Ranger, I struggle to find a hero that does well against that. I struggle to find an offlaner that can actually lane decently enough versus Drow plus ET. ET is just a powerhouse in the laning stage, and Drow Ranger covers all of his weaknesses, and that's...
It could be also like just another range hero, like a troll, possibly, for Vici Gaming. Just have something range against the Void Spirit, and you're not gonna feel that he's doing that much.
There's just, on the side of Elephant, they just decide to go in a different direction, and they ban out PL that's really strong versus the TA later on, and they ban out Ursa.
Oh dear.
Yep.
I think this Drow pick's pretty likely because the Drow SF was a combo they ran in their very last series, in fact, versus Asta. So could be getting spicy here for Elephant, but maybe they have a plan.
And that's your old school combo that creates SF into this tower. You just go for this old build of right click on SF, and it's possible. It's definitely possible that they will do it again.
Final pickup from Elephant now. They are looking for a carry for their team, and I feel like they could use a little bit of just like initiation. I know you've got the TA, but I feel like she also benefits from someone who just jumps in on the front lines.
The problem is this Weaver ban was really strong from Vici because Weaver is one of these ambiguous heroes that, let's see, they go with the troll. It's fine if he goes for Maelstrom build, but it doesn't feel great. It's just fine. It fits.
Every time we see the troll, we're having this conversation.
It's not only because of the troll. Troll is a decent hero. It's about this combination with the TA, and now with the Razor, I feel like they outdrafted them completely.
They were so ready to pick that Razor after a troll pick, and it's also another range hero into Void Spirit that I mentioned. Like just pick something ranged. I like what Vici Gaming have in this one. Like a lot of control from Shaman, great counter initiation from Elder Titan. Razor, not the most popular hero overall, but works well against the TA, against the troll. I don't like that the Elephant has 2 cores that rely on like dealing heavy right-click damage.
I don't like that they have no stuns. That's also what I don't like
that as well.
From Elephant. Like, you just, how do you play this game? You just wait for TA to crush the lane and go into the triangle and farm up so that she's this unstoppable beast. But
it's very important to have like mixed kind of a damage coming on from both of your cores, and this is just the heavy right click. It's good Roche taking potential, something that Vici Gaming needs to be very careful about, but they can also sneak in Roche with the minus armor from Shadow Fiend, Shaman wards.
Maybe if Vici Gaming managed to drop their lanes, this game might go in Elephant's favor. But Elephant, they need to play like a real superstar team, which they are.
They do,
in order
but at
to
the
win
same
this.
time, Vici Gaming, like, they're pretty weak on the carry side. I mean, they've got SF and Razor as their cores. I don't know if that's going to be enough. And for me, at least, I think in a game like this, I'm actually going to favor Elephant for this one. So I'm going to be brave. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to say Elephant, guys.
I'll go with Vici.
Yeah.
I'll go with Vici as
Yeah.
well.
That's expected. That's expected. Alrighty, let's bring in our casters and find out what they have to say about this first game. B-Cop and Black, what are you thinking?
You want to go first?
No.
Okay. I don't know. The winds were blowing, the snow was snowing, and you know, I'm thinking Vici. They've got this one.
Vici got this one.
Yeah.
They have a better draft.
All right.
Yeah.
350.
Vici definitely has like a little bit of a better draft, I think. But Elephant, you know, if they can get their pieces working, it can definitely work out for them too. But I'm gonna go Vici.
You're going to go Vici. Okay, 4 for Vici, 1 for Elephant. Taking away B-Cop and Black for game number 1.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Ready to go for this one?
Ready to
Big
go
series.
for this one, of course. Yeah, one of the biggest series we have here.
Yeah.
I think if Vici can secure this game, they're already in the top 4 at least, which is a major spot. I don't think many other teams can get to 5 wins after that.
Yeah, they'd be 5-1.
Elephant
It
would be
would,
3-3,
3
I
and
believe.
3.
So there could only be 4-3. So whoever has 5 after this is secured at least a wild card, I believe.
Yeah, it could really shake things up, especially with the series coming down next week. LGD play Vici. You know, there's a mix-up with Aster and IG that could be pretty big. Like, there are a lot of series. We could have tiebreakers in a couple different spots, potentially.
Yeah.
It really just comes to how these all end up playing out.
Just talking purely about draft, though, this TA has a pretty easy lane against SF. It's a very hard lane for SF, and he can definitely be popping off, you know. Like, this Razor is very good against Troll, of course, but if this TA really snowballs, she can, like, 2-hit almost every hero on that Radiant side for the longest time.
Now, one of the things is, like, you see TA, Ori plays that hero a lot. Does that help him in playing against it when it's not a favorable matchup for him?
It does. Like, if you're a specialist on a hero, you definitely know how to play against it. Probably, you know how to, like, avoid the sideblade hits and everything, you know. So, Ori is definitely gonna be, you know, one of the guys who might potentially beat a TA as an SF.
Yeah,
Doing very well for himself.
he plays his hero seemingly all the time.
I see him a lot in pubs with it too, yeah.
Yeah.
He loves that hero.
It's like where I've seen a lot of his best performances, that and like Storm coming out. But Somnus is on the TA now. We've talked about how TA is just one of those heroes. You have a good lane, back up into the jungle. Potentially you've been given a couple of stacks to work with. You snowball out of control, get that blink, Deso, and from there, you know, if the other team's not ready, things can spiral pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I'm really worried about this Void Spirit here. Laning against Razor as a melee hero is absolutely terrifying. Like, you can see he's only 1 CS. He already lost more than 50% of his health. It's just super hard to lane as a Void Spirit. And then if you don't have a good lane as Void Spirit, you're not gonna have any impact at all, really. I think most of it will just come down to this TA.
It really needs to be a good lane for the Void Spirit. And I'm
not gonna
like
happen.
you, just thinking, how is this going to happen? How is Yang going to go about this? We've heard about the dead Yang strat before, though. Maybe that makes an appearance, but ooh, first blood coming in for Ori over Somnus. We talked about it, how you play the hero so much, you might be able to beat it in an unfavorable matchup, and right now that first blood's certainly going to push that factor way up.
Yeah, and that's the Ori I want to see again. Like, Somnus is widely considered one of the best mids in China.
Yeah.
But Ori, you know, when he's at his top, he might just be the best in China. And we've kind of been, that's what I've been lacking, you know. Like, VG, Ori was very inconsistent at the beginning, but the deeper we get into the season, the stronger he seems to be getting.
Yeah, because usually you see like Ori lead the momentum, lead the charge for Vici, and that hasn't been something we've really seen or felt, even though they are 4-1. Like, I don't want to take away from the fact that they are towards the top. They've only had 1 loss. But
One more raise?
Oh,
Oh my god, again!
wow. So Ori with back-to-back kills on Somnus, that's going to be huge, because now you're getting a massive advantage. He TP'd into lane.
That's the walk of shame right
Yeah.
there. The walk of shame in the mid lane is really one that can decide games sometimes. He is over 700 gold behind now.
Yeah, I want to see what direction Ori goes with this Shadow Fiend too. Like, what kind of build are we going to see? I know a lot of people in pubs have been doing like that. Duels, Arcane Blink, combo.
Oh, he's gonna miss another 2 waves in the tower now.
This is really rough. And this is damage coming out onto the tower. Maybe if this tier 1 goes down quick, like that could be a big issue. Red Panda getting run down up in the top lane.
One more hit.
But won't end up dying. PYW's been really impressive as well. His support play for Vici has been probably some of the best in the region.
Yeah, really, really good.
Spear hits, and Eurus will eat an Ether Shock, but PYW not working with a lot of mana. Doesn't have Shackles, only level 2, so he's got an Ether Shock and the Hex.
Another bottle refill for the SF. Why not? Like, he's having such a good game already, just make it even better for him.
Yeah. And here, you know, Erica shouldn't be pressured too much.
No,
Should be safe with the time away from the support. So it's him alone. The creep tower, creep's coming under the tower, but it should be fine for him.
Only way he dies is if he eats an arrow.
Yeah.
Which should not happen. Razor is a pretty speedy hero with good turn rate.
And it's already looking good. You've got Shadow Fiend at the top by a big margin, just about 1,000 gold over this TA. TA who's got Bottle Boots still queued up, and Ori's already got that. He pops a double damage, and Somnus being pushed off the tower once again. So damage going to come out on the tower. The range creep gets denied once more. He's a level 6. Like, Shadow Fiend, this is a complete contrast to when we saw X play Shadow Fiend a couple days ago.
Yeah, like he is absolutely crushing it. X was the one getting killed a lot. This time, Ori is the one doing the killing. He's still not even level 5 on the TA, or just reaches it. SF almost level 7 at this point.
Yeah. The experience difference, definitely feeling great. We'll see what Ori wants to go for in terms of not only items, but how he wants to approach this like early part of the game, because we're only 5 minutes in, and he's about to be level 7. Does he move around? Does he try to get something done, or is he going to sit here and just take his advantage and continue to farm?
I mean, SF is a hero that can really easily just, you know, go back to jungle, get ahead of all the enemy cores, especially if you're winning your lane like this.
Right.
So I expect him to just be 1-2 items ahead of all the enemy cores at pretty much all points in this game. We'll have to see what he's going for, though. Some people, as I said, go for Yules. Other people love to just go for this BKB right-click build. There's lots of options on SF that are very viable as well. Rune bottom. DY securing that one, but
FY here.
matching it. Yep.
Which, you know, you don't get that bottle refill, unfortunately for Ori.
Yang, not level 5 yet. Also, Erica almost level 7.
That spear hits, and they might have an opportunity to get a kill on Eurus. Instead, they'll turn their attention on Red Panda. It's a rotation over from Ori to get this kill. Not really, you know, he does a little bit of damage with the raise. Comes in, maybe they want to pressure the tower, make Eurus' game a little bit tougher. We'll see how long they stay up here and what they want to do with this this rotation.
Yeah, that does give a little bit of breathing room to the TA, of course, something he desperately needs right now. It's just tough. Like, if you have a dual core like Troll TA, and both of them are not having like the best lanes, it can really transition into a very passive mid game where you can't make any moves happen. And VG is just going to be in the driver's seat pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
With how this early game is shaping up to be.
So we've talked about Ori a lot. Obviously, he's ahead. What do you need to do here for Elephant to kind of bring this back? Like, obviously, TA is going to go into the jungle, continue to farm. Yang gets chased, dissimulates, trying to get away, and he's got enough distance where Erica can't dive the tier 1 tower, but back over mid, Red Panda's gone to Ori. So Ori getting more kills and continuing to jump up the net worth, sitting at just about 4K. Somnus and FY are here trying to get a kill on a DY. He's given his life over to Somnus, which is a kill that, you know, when you shut down Somnus as much as you have, you really don't want to be given back like that.
Yeah, a little bit over-aggressive there, but they did at least get the abandon and turn. They're now 2K net worth ahead. And getting back to your question, the only guy that can really make moves is the Void Spirit. He's TPing middle now, trying to kill that SF. But he's not even level 6 yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Astral Step to make the jump, and he may not need it. They've got themselves the Shackles on Somnus, but that's stopped with the Aether Remnant. They get the kill into PYW. They look over at Ori. Ori, who had such a big advantage, but now will fall to Yang. And DY, he's in a bit far. They do have themselves the arena if they want to use it, but 4 heroes have showed up for the side of Elephant, so DY will run. Aether Remnant doesn't land. The Starstorm not doing enough damage. Elephant won't get the kill on a DY, but they will get that SF and slow him down.
Yeah, massive rotation here from the Void Spirit. He wasn't level 6 initially, but they got the first kill on another Shackle here
on the
coming
Yang.
in, potentially.
Now the Aether Remnant comes out, so they
Arena
don't have a
Spear's
way to
available
stop
too.
the Shackle, unless they land that arrow, which they do. They've got the Arena as well as the Spear, but Yang is still okay. Dissimilate has that Mistcoil being thrown from Red Panda to him, so Yang not dying off that, and that is a lot of time spent by Old 11 over mid getting nothing done.
Yeah. The Razor, however, is still free farming, and he is that hard counter to both the TA as well as the Troll. He is going to be big thorn in their eyes, but TA caught up with the SF. Same net worth now, and a big ancient stack to work with. It was a really good rotation by the Void Spirit. He got level 6 off a kill, and then used that to kill the SF. Top lane, miss.
Sweep doesn't hit. Red Panda getting pushed thanks to the God's Rebuke, but now the Aether Remnant lands and Old 11 just giving up his life. Astro step across Ori. This is a problem now for the Shadow Fiend, but they're turning. They've got Erica making the rotation, looking over at Eurus. Eurus, who does not have that Battle Trance queued up yet, or, well, skilled up yet. And he's probably going to die for that. Ends up going down. Erica under the tier 1 tower, though, also grab FY with a raise from Ori. They grabbed 2 kills there, and it looked like a fight that might go wrong for Vici, but at the end of the day, they come out a little bit ahead.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on right now, which gives TA a lot of space. He's going for a Blink Dagger first, also recognizing the fact that their lineup is very passive. And you need to be able to follow up on some Void Spirit initiations. Right, quite a bit. Going for the non-greedy path.
FY coming up top with a TP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm surprised, because you know that these heroes are still here, and it's going to be tough to get out.
He just wants to defend the tower as long as possible. He still has 2 leaps available, so the kill on him is not easy at all. But with SF's rotation top, that should just be a tower.
These creeps are dispersed all over the place, and now finally their creeps coming in onto the tier 1 tower. Arrow to kill off the catapult.
And the Moonlight Shadow right after. Looks like they're just going to be trading towers, which at this point actually is good for Elephant, because they're quite a bit behind. So trading towers is always a win for you if you're actually behind.
Right.
Almost a deny.
Deny would have felt great, especially taking your own tower bottom.
Yeah, you can see the Troll is just so far behind the Razor as well as the SF. Over 1.4k net worth behind. It's going to be a big problem. If you're already playing into a counter and you're behind the net worth, it always feels like just double as bad, really. The only way to offset a counter matchup is to be ahead in items, and it's not going to happen this game. Unless they take some really good team fights.
Do you like this Falcon Blade pickup by the Razor?
Falcon Blade Razor, huh? And then a Yules as well. A little bit too much, perhaps. Like, I would go either Yules or Falcon Blade, but getting both might be a little bit too much investment.
Right.
But we'll have to see. We haven't really seen this hero too much, so I'm not entirely sure what the new Razor...
They find Old 11,
good at.
and, well, Red Panda will tank this. I know Somnus had spotted him for the moment, but they've got the Hex and they have the damage. He's not even close to level 6, so he doesn't have that borrowed time.
Yeah, that was a freebie.
Interesting thing is Somnus is level 11, and Shadow Fiend, Ori, who is ahead by 2 levels, is now a level behind.
Yeah, that's because of the ancient stacks. Like, they give a lot of XP, and Ori has been playing a lot with his team, whereas Somnus has just been farming away quietly. He's going Shadow Blade on SF.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
he just about has it too.
Yeah. Leaves him very vulnerable, but of course, a surprise Shadow Blade can just net you a kill on a Troll for free, on a TA, you know, one of those really value kills. Gives you a lot of attack speed, a lot of mobility, but overall it's just considered a very risky item. It doesn't give you any survivability. We have to see if it pays off or not. He'll have to get quite a lot of solo kills for this item to be worth it.
Right.
Which is possible. It is possible, for sure. You know, SF hasn't been really popular lately, so I don't know how well they're prepared for something like this.
Are you surprised that the SFs we've seen haven't taken advantage of the Yule's Arcane Blink style play?
The thing with that build is you're very fragile still, and it's a lot of investment.
Yeah.
Like the Arcane Blink itself is over 6k net worth. You need a BKB, you need Blink, you need Yules. That is like 15k net worth before you're really ready to fight.
which
It's
is
just a
a
huge
long
investment.
time into the game.
Yeah. SF on the prowl here, did not find anyone, unfortunately. So that's attempt number 1 botched. And they caught a glimpse on him, on the TA trap, so they should be aware of the Shadow Blade now. Don't think he can get anything done with it. Smoke to the bot lane.
Yeah, they're smoking up bottom. They might be able to find Ori.
They have
the
no
rest of the
sentries,
team
though.
is mid.
They have no reveal.
Oh, they've moved over to the side, but Ori's walking right into them. Astro Step. Oh, a short one from Yang on the second Astro Step.
It really doesn't matter. They had no dust or sentry. They were not prepared for this Shadow Blade at all. And I guess it saved his life the first time.
Guess that's some value there.
Yeah. Would have, of course, loved to kill someone with it, but can't always get the perfect. Oh, SFTPing top, trying to set up on the troll. We should be very aware of this movement, though. It's probably just going to go back.
Oh, arrow hits Erica, but they're not following that up.
Razor is pretty damn tanky right now. Also, that Yules. If you get your static link on top of someone and then the Yules after, can really turn around fights.
Might spot Eurus. He just doesn't have a lot of time left on this Shadow Blade.
Oh, he has to be really careful
God.
here.
He appears, and Somnus and Eurus are here looking for the Requiem. That comes down, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. It just fears them away. So defensive zoning Requiem is the first one.
Dust on Mirana.
That's going to be on cooldown for 2 minutes, and you can see FY trying to position to find the right arrow, but it ends up splitting the seams between Ori and PYW.
He's level 6 now in a Baron.
Yeah, so he has that borrowed time, shackled up. That'll allow him to pick up the bounty rune.
But
They still have the kill.
life.
Yeah, and the courier.
Troll. Bot lane on the Razor. Razor just dead.
Wow, Erica just getting destroyed here, and he's top of the net worth. They've got 3 heroes, enough to take him out, while the rest of the team is up towards top where
Spear
they
on the
land
TA,
the
though.
spear onto Somnus. Can he survive? Yang's making the rotation back towards top. He doesn't have an Astro Step for a couple of seconds. They have the Hex. They look for the Sleep. That's going to land, and now they've got the Arena as well as the Spear. Earth Splitter's going to hit onto Yang, so not only do they get a kill onto Somnus, but it looks like Yang might die. Dissimulate, get some distance between him and the side of Vici, but it doesn't look like enough. Serpent Ward's in the middle of the fight. They get the kill onto Yang. They look over Red Panda and make it a third.
No leap.
FY's also here. He doesn't have a leap, so 4 heroes die coming in to defend Somnus.
And it was all on the back of Razor committing a very big mistake bottom, dying for free, and then they trickle in top lane one by one. Like, Somnus could have easily blinked out, but he was trying to bait them in. Yang TP'd in, and they both just die all by themselves. We can see it here again. He could have easily blinked away after this. There's no need to fight the Mars at all. You can just walk away and live a happy life. But he wants to fight back. He wants to bait him in. He does so successfully, but he does not expect a quick follow-up from the VG here.
Yeah, and they didn't stack any of their lockdown. They hit the Hex. They go for the Sleep. They've got the Arena into the Spear. Like, they just did enough to kill off Somnus, and his cockiness, I would say.
Over-aggressiveness, let's be nice about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely, you know, would have been really good for Elephant. They just killed the Razor for free, but instead they lost 4 of their heroes.
Gave a big advantage right back.
Certainly.
It definitely feels very overzealous to be like, I'm going to be the bait, and then you get caught.
Yeah, happens sometimes. Yule's up on the troll, Arena, Spear. Missed!
Ooh, Old 11 missing that Spear, and that completely makes this fight not happen.
Even if it hit, Aban's right next to him, he's just going to shield him. That was never something that was going to work. And they realized it right away and back off. So sure, some cooldowns are wasted, but at least they didn't lose anything.
Probably even better that he missed the Spear, otherwise they would
Otherwise,
have
might have gone
jumped in.
Yeah.
Seen that a few times.
Void Spirit, same net worth as Shadow Shaman. And that's what I was scared of. Like, he is literally just a support at this point. Troll is playing into a counter.
Yeah.
And SF is getting... He slowed his game down a lot by trying to find these solo pickoffs with the Shadow Blade, which is why I said the item is very risky. But at least he didn't die yet, since picking it up. Let's go into the BKB next. He's still very vulnerable, though. This TA is going to have a Desolator very soon. If she gets on top of the SF, he can die very fast.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Going back to the Void Spirit, like, yeah, he's under-farmed, but this Ags certainly will make a big deal.
It will, if he gets it timely, but if he dies once or twice more, they will have 2 BKBs on the Radiant already, and then this Axe on Void Spirit won't be doing too much anymore. But
Yeah,
if he can get it up in like 2-3 minutes, it can definitely make a very big difference.
Yeah, with each passing minute, it feels like the effectiveness will drop off. But if you can get it quickly enough, and all of a sudden you're slowing down BKBs, if you can get kills on like the SF, see if that works out. They've used the Moonlight Shadow and smoke with it, as they're going to go into Roche.
With the new Desolator pickup, they should be aware of this on Radiant though. They're not pushing out any lanes. Are they just fine giving this up? I feel like the team fight is much stronger than the Dire sides, and it's just gone.
Wow. That was a quick Roche, and
now they know, but it's way
that's
too
a big
late.
one.
Yeah. Like when Roche was at like 1,000 health, they're like, oh guys, they're doing Roshan. But of course, way too slow against the TA lineup, but Troll as well. And that's an Aegis in the hands of the TA. Troll, 50 gold away from BKB, just picked it up. And they're ready to fight now. Oh, they might be catching the Void Spirit here just before. Wow. Quick.
And there's the double Astro Step. That second Astro Step has always been short.
Yeah, I think he just panic clicks the first one sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the long one, and then just this little tiny Astro Step.
You see that sometimes with Storm Spirits, they zip like 100 range because like, because they click really fast.
Yeah.
They got good reflexes, but they panic a little bit, you know.
Red Panda and FY on the high ground. Somnus nearby. Old 11 walks up the steps. They kill that trap, but now Yule's up into the air, into the arrow. They've got the lockdown onto Old 11, but instead of going for this, they're just going to leave Red Panda to die. And all that happening, Yang, he's dead by himself, or he uses that Requiem to get the kill. Gets spotted for a second, but they just don't have the damage to take out the Shadow Fiend. So that Shadow Blade finally gets them a kill.
Yeah, was about time. And it slows down the Axe timing that we spoke about is very crucial. Still 500 gold away from it.
Yeah.
And he will have a BKB up and ready on the SF before that Aghanim comes online.
And really unfortunate timing there for Yang.
Razor picked up the Halberd going into a Butterfly. I would much rather see
Yule's into the air.
the Yules in the air, yep.
BKB's been popped. Go to the battle
he's done.
trance. They're going to go for Erica. Now Yule's once again, and he's got that static
There's
link.
no damage.
Erica trying to run from this, and he's made enough space.
He actually lived, yeah. Together with the Apple, the Heaven's Halberd, he has so much health, 2.5k.
Wow.
They could not chew through it. The Wido in trouble, getting slowed up by the Abandon.
Yeah, trap pops, and it looks like his life might pop up. PYW's got a blink dagger, comes in with a shackle. They get the kill on an FY, and now they turn this on Red Panda. Borrowed time is popped, not going to matter. Got 113 damage going the way of Razor, and he just blows up Red Panda with the help of his team.
Yeah. And there we see why Razor is such a hard counter to Troll. Like, he got arrowed, got the link off, Yuled himself, and suddenly Troll dealt 0 damage. He actually had like minus 50. It has been historically such a tough matchup to play into.
So he's going BKB on Somnus. Is the shard after that worth it? I feel like that shard's so good.
The shot is really good on TA. I don't think I've seen too many people pick it up, but the ones that I have seen pick it up, they've been doing a lot of work with it.
Like if they could get that Axe, if they could get these silences
Especially
throughout
the
the
backlines.
fight. Yeah.
That's really good.
Because not only can you
100%.
pop it on, say, if Shadow Shaman walks over it, but you could also silence him, stop his blink. Blink in, Hex, Serpent Wards down. They've got the Shackle. It's all around FY.
Called out again.
Easy kill on the Mirana.
And Shadow Shaman is huge, sitting at 6k net worth. He's having a super good game. Link Dagger, Adelins. And they're smoking from behind. It's going to be a 4v5 fight. They do have arena, they have everything available. They need to be careful. If they take this fight wrongly, could just spill GG for them.
Yeah, this could put them down by about 10k, and rightfully so, they back off.
That was never going to be a fight that works against the SF with BKB. Mars in the front with the Yules. 2k health to his name as well.
I'm not sure that's a fight yet you want to take 5v5. And now they're going to find Red Panda once more. Arrow flies in but doesn't land. And they'll sweep up Red Panda, get this easy kill, as he cannot run away. But they find Somnus. Yule's up and Requiem placed down. That's going to hit on the Yang. He's now been hexed up and killed. They get a quick kill onto the Void Spirit, and now they'll look for the rest. The Spear hits on the Eris, but he's pushed out of the arena with BKB being popped by Eris going after this side of Vici. He just does not have the damage. He still has Battle Trance running with the BKB running out. And now they've got the Moonlight Shadow, but it doesn't look like they're going to get out of vision as they've been dusted, and they kill off Somnus. They've got 5 heroes ready to go.
He has Blink,
Earth
though.
Splitter right on top of him. They hit the arrow, blink away. He's been disarmed. Will survive for the second life.
This is the problem when you have 2 physical cores. They have double Heaven's Halberd now, and they're just not going to be able to hit anyone. This is why this Troll-TA combination is not very successful historically. They both just do the same thing. Like
Right.
they don't take care of each other's weaknesses, which is usually what a draft wants to do. Razor, SF, perfect example. SF has a ton of magic damage, and Razor does all the physical work. It's getting increasingly tough. Like, if they build armor items on Radiant, it's going to be so hard to kill any of them. They're going to have a Shivas eventually, AC eventually. At that point,
Scotty being built for Shadow Fiend.
yeah,
Wow.
just tank up. That's all they have to do, really. Void Spirit, 0 damage. Aghanim is only minute 25. There's nothing. Same with Mirana. Same with the Baron. There's just no damage. The only 2 damages they have are purely physical, and they already have 2 Halberds against that, and the Razor, who will drain one of them.
So Elephant in a big struggle here, down 7K. It's 7K, but it feels like so much more.
Yeah, that's because they already counted, you know? In counter matchups, the 7K might as well be like a 13 or 14K.
Red Panda again, arrow doesn't land, doesn't find a home.
So there's ult available as well. SF has Requiem as well as a Cane Rune.
And Red Panda's 4 levels behind the Elder Titan.
It's just so hard as a Baron. Like, he's 0-9-2. He has been the Sacrificial Lamb, like, every fight.
Yeah.
It's just they have no catch other than this Mirana Yules. It's so hard to get anything going. You know, like, you might bait well with the Abaddon, but then what? You just can't get any fight started.
Yeah, there's no lockdown. There's no way to survive in these fights at the moment.
FY needs to be really careful here. 1 Blink initiation from the Shaman can spill his Doom again. Using the SF. Remnant.
Ether
into-
Remnant. Do they have anything more? Silence out, Shadow Blade used. Moonlight Shadow is shrouding them.
They have a gem on the Mars. So they have to be really careful how they initiate here. They might not be aware of this.
Need to be very careful. And they're going to just push bottom. They've got Serpent Wards. They'll continue to try and take these towers. The retaliation from Elephant just feels like it won't work whatever they do at the moment.
They have a BKB on TA though. So at least they have better ways of fighting back now. But they have to be very cautious about it. Razor getting pulled in.
Yeah, Aether Remnant lands onto the Razor. They're going to go to the back lines with Red Panda, but I don't think that's going to
Here
work.
goes
And now
Spear.
the arena, as well as the Spear that lands on Somnus. Requiem comes in with BKBs being popped by both the TA as well as this Troll. Going in, trying to get a kill here on Erica, bashing him up and rooting him. He's in so much trouble. The Shackles come in. Eurus is gone. Old 11, he's a shared bounty, but Erica follows suit as Somnus gets the kill there, but it's not going to be much more than that. They've got the Hex, they've got the kill, they'll take out Somnus, and the rest cannot fight without those two. It is going to be a
They're
tough
trying to.
exchange. They'll go after DY. They'll at least get the Elder Titan. Now the Shackle comes in on a FY. No way to stop BYW. The Hex to follow it up, and Red Panda's gone too.
FY bought back.
Yeah, Yank's staying here.
They
He's
can't
got
go
an
in here.
Aether
They
Remnant.
can't go. They need to run. It was for the gem pickup. Okay, so Red Panda dropped the gem that he stole from the Mars.
Yeah.
Mirana bought back to pick it back up again. Probably worth it at this point, to be honest, to pick up the gem. Because a lot of your plays will have to come from Moonlight Shadow. So them stealing their gem away is a very big deal. And they did lose the Razor, at least. So slowing his item progression down. SF, however, is the big winner of this team fight. Very close to Skadi now. Once that's online, it's going to be really difficult. We see a team fight here again.
Yeah, you're just the jump in immediately, but the Yules.
The Arena Spear on TA was so important here. It forced Troll into an early BKB. Razor just links him up. He has to run after the Razor. And both TA and Troll are just in such a bad position afterwards. They both have to commit onto the Razor, but they just cannot kill him fast enough.
Yeah, and then your BKBs are down while SF's just standing there with his still going. There's nothing you can do, and you end up losing that fight. The Troll going in every time, Battle Trans BKB, and it just doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah. I like Troll's itemization though. He's going for all these items that deal damage even if you have negative damage. He's going for Bash Shot that procs for 100, Maelstrom that procs for 150, and then he's going MKB next. There's a very high chance to proc for 70 damage every hit. So even if you're at minus, there's still a chance that you deal a lot of damage with your procs. And it's really the only way that you can play against this Razor.
Yeah.
So good on him to recognize that.
Needs to really find a way to fight around these BKBs.
Oh, a big mistake here by Eric, I think. He's going into the butterfly, not recognizing the fact that he is going to go MKB on this Troll. He's countering himself in itemization already, basically. He could potentially, if he sees it, go back into an E-Blade. But that decision needs to be made fast. Because once he's stuck with that butterfly, he's not going to be happy about that.
I think like 1 or 2 times throughout however long I've been watching Dota, I've watched someone sell a butterfly seeing an MKB immediately finish off.
He doesn't only have MKB, he also has a Maelstrom and Basher that both have True Strike when it hits. So it's not the greatest butterfly game.
Roche up in 12. This time Vici, they're here. Don't want to give it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is
Dire are scanning.
Elephant, who they're nowhere near, but they need to be careful about giving up this Aegis.
Yeah.
They were able to swipe one before, but
He completed the butterfly and Troll. So he's going to have a strong timing where there is no MKB up yet. But if they lose one fight, this Troll is going to absolutely massacre the Razor.
right.
Is under attack.
Would have much rather liked to see like a Shiva's Guard into like a hard on him, you know, just tank up and be that counter that you're supposed to be, you know, just run at the Troll, no matter what, arrow on SF.
Yeah,
Not
nobody
really
else
do
is
anything
there.
though. The problem he has now is that the Troll can actually kill him post BKB,
Right.
post MKB, sorry,
Right.
because he does not have armor items and he's not itemizing into them. So we'll have to see how it goes. Could be potentially pretty risky. Initiation on Void Spirit, Shackle, Hex, and done. So easy to do with a Shadow Shaman. It's such a scary hero.
Yeah.
Like you get caught any time alone, you're done. You're just disabled for a good 8-9 seconds. And that's pre-level 20 talent even. Which increases it by another 2 seconds.
So Razor, by the way, he went into the Halberd, and then
He already had the Yasha on the
yeah, so
inventory.
disassembled them, made the SNY and the butterfly, but he's left here with the Heaven's Halberd recipe.
Yeah, that's okay. You can sell that. You only lose 200 gold.
Yeah.
Not the biggest deal. I'm just a little bit afraid of that MKB timing that might really destroy him.
It was just interesting to see. That he's just got leftover paper.
Because they added that like a while back to the recipe, of course. Make it a little bit less attractive to disassemble. Because everybody did it every game.
Well, yeah, you used to have God King who would go to SNY, disassemble,
On
build
every hero.
Halberd and Manta.
Middle tower has fallen.
Started on his AM, and he did it on Terrorblade, and he did it on every hero, really.
Is under attack.
I love people like that. They just like start a new meta, you know, and then it just becomes so popular that it needs to get nerfed.
Well, even before that, he was trying to start, when he trialed for newbie, he tried to start the Midas first item on Terrorblade meta.
That did not
And
pick up.
he lost like 11 games in a row.
I'm not surprised.
It
A
was
hero with 700 health buying Midas first. What could go wrong?
He just like, oh man, those games were interesting.
They're smoked up here, but there's no hero from Dire at the top lane, so no one is gonna die. They're actually all 5 heroes sitting in base and smoking up themselves.
But they're nowhere near where Vici are around the map.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of an anti-timing smoke. Okay, TA is just gonna farm up that MKB. They're gonna have 2 MKBs soon, and this Razor is gonna feel like paper, trust me. Like, he's gonna die fast. 0 armor items, no BKB, and pretty low health.
Right.
SF, Shadow Blading in. Or
Just hiding
not.
in the trees.
Yeah. Troll, 700 gold away from his MKB. TA completed hers. Pieces are coming together for Elephant.
Killed.
Yeah, I don't think they're out of this one now. I thought
Definitely
maybe
not.
if the pace was picked up a little bit more by Vici, it felt more like they were out of it, but not
They got
at the
Yang
moment.
again.
Yeah, they've got Yang. They have Serpent Wards committed for this, and
might
Old
have
11
been-
kills Yang.
A little overkill with the wards committed, but better be safe than sorry. Do end up getting the kill.
But is it better safe than sorry if you're trying to put some tempo and some pressure on, and now you don't have Serpent Wards to try and push a little bit more?
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's definitely a little overcommitment here, but they could have potentially gotten the high ground with this, because Void Spirit has no. But
Radiant's bottom tower is
He goes up into the air
Rolls.
and borrowed time. Well done by Red Panda.
he popped it, so he just ruined his timing with the spear. Well done by him.
Ooh,
You
Hell
see that
Strike.
damage coming in,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of damage, but now Samus
Satanic.
is slowed up a little bit.
Yeah, he has Satanic on SF. He's not an easy kill.
under attack.
No, not at all. But they will get the 2-3.
Arrow?
Arrow just missing again.
That was close.
Dire's
Now they've got the
defense.
MKBs finished.
Yeah, they do want to wait for the Void Spirit, though. So the second lane of Rex top is where they're going to make their stand.
Yeah, they just need that little extra bit of control. That silence maybe potentially being massive in
Arrow?
these fights. Arrow hits onto the SF.
He's dying
Hell
fast.
Strike in, and the damage is huge, but can they get the kill on Ori? He's one shot, finally taking out the Aegis, but the BKB's been popped by Somnus, and he has to go back a little bit. There's the missed coil, healing up Somnus a little bit as they try to fight into
SF
this
in
one with the
trouble.
BKB as well as the battle trance used by Eurus going after SF. He's getting low, but he runs out of the arena. They've got the Hex on Eurus, and they should be able to get the kill. One last shot from Erica takes him out, but the Shackle, it's onto the Mirana. They kill off FY. They lose Old 11. Somnus still trying to move in on this, but they just don't have their BKBs, and they don't have the presence from the Troll or the Mirana anymore to make a stand outside the base.
Yeah, and SF healed up in the jungle. Now he's ready to push high ground again. They don't have Troll. They don't have Mirana. No buybacks on them either. Could potentially just be a second lane of Rex here because this TA alone cannot fight into this Razor SF combination. Shadow Shaman there to back them up as well. There's just no way. Might just lose a second side here. Potentially even a third. Unlikely. But if they get like 1 or 2 kills trying to defend this, Elephant cannot lose any heroes here now. They have to be really careful.
Mirana 37 gold short of buyback, and that's why they're picking up these bounty runes and leaving one hero to leave the base to pick them up, maybe to get a buyback coming out from the Mirana. It won't be enough to get Troll back into this one. Now they've got another Satanic. That's on Erica. Red Panda popping the borrowed time. But this is a set of racks that should be conceded.
Dire's top barracks.
Yeah.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Now,
Dire's top
Razor
barracks has
also
fallen.
really tanky. Sitting at 3k health himself. SF sitting at 3.2k. And we said all the damage is physical. Both pretty high armor heroes. Sitting at 20, 22 respectively. It's gonna be real tough to chew through all that health now.
Yeah.
Especially with Satanic online. One hit can just heal you by half.
is a great conductor.
This Troll is looking for a Linken's. Like, Eurus feels so uncomfortable fighting into this that he wants a Linken's now. A very defensive item this far behind, and now Yule's. They have got Abaddon, who does have borrowed time in a second. The Yule's into the arrow, and Requiem comes in, and that will hit on Yang. But they should be able to get the kill into Old 11. They get the bashes, they get the damage, and they'll take out one. Red Panda.
Running a bit suicidal there.
did
Arena
have-
still locking them down. Troll had no BKB. If they were a little bit quicker on VG, might have potentially killed him there. But he's gonna be fine. TA going to Nullifier next. To purge that Satanic.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Radiant's top tower
And
is
only
under attack.
900 gold away from it. So pretty close. Spell Prism.
One of the best items. See who he gives it to. It's gonna go to the Void Spirit.
Trickster Cloak. That's another good one.
Do they have another gem on Radiant yet? They do. So the Trickster Cloak, not as efficient. Because of course that Invis is gonna be not a factor.
Oh,
against that gem.
Telescope.
Ooh,
PYW
it's really good
snags
for
that
that lineup.
up.
Yeah. For that lineup, it's so good. For the Shaman, for the Razor, for the SF auto attacks, it's such a great item this game. Timeless Relic as well. Who's gonna pick that up? Shadow Shaman. You just give the Telescope to the Elder Titan. I like it. Shadow Shaman with Timeless Relic is ridiculous. Like, you're just stunned for 15 seconds. Like, you get hexed, you get shackled, you get hexed again. It's off cooldown.
Jeez.
You just can't do anything. However, he does not have a BKB, so he is still vulnerable. He can get stunned, can get
Oh,
silenced.
double damage. Oh, dear.
On the SF. No bottle, though. So they're 45 seconds. Roshan up in 10.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Could be a 1-second respawn.
VG's lucky. Always are. Here it is. Not quite. 1 minute 30.
Not terrible, though.
Yeah, 1 minute 30. But DD will not be there.
True. But they haven't needed that. At least on the last one, they didn't need it.
Yeah. And now Nullifier picked up on TA. They can blow up SF or Razor real fast. They have no way to save them.
Somnus wants this Daedalus, too.
Yeah. I mean, the damage items are coming for Elephant. They just need 1 or 2 more on both the Troll and TA, and they have the tools to fight.
Yeah, but now Ori, he's hit level 25, so he's got that 30% cooldown reduction, which will help with the Satanic on a 24.5-second cooldown. They might be able to get that off twice in a fight.
Will help with the BKB, even with the Enchanted Quiver, now sitting at 3.5 seconds cooldown rather than 5.
Has been killed.
Nobody.
I'm so scared of the Shadow Shaman. If he locks anyone down, they're done.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not getting out of it.
He's got the extra cast range. He's got the extra shackle duration.
So how long is there now? 7 seconds on that, 3.5 on the Hex, plus 25%. I don't want to do the math. It's a lot of seconds. 10.5 plus 25. Let's just say 13 and a half.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You know math. Math isn't my strong suit.
13 to 13
throughout
and a
these
half.
seasons.
Let's just leave it at that. And Hex cooldown is 13. So, Hex, Shackle, Hex. Let's go.
With Aether Lens.
Mars is a little bit exposed here.
Yeah, they're going to go in for this. Old 11 now Yule's up into the air, but these are early BKBs from Elephant, so is that going to hurt them later in the fight? They get the Kona Old 11, they're going to look for more. The Air Splitter comes in and hits on 4 of these heroes. They'll look for more. They get the Kona Eurus. He's forced to buy back. Somnus will so quickly after. These BKBs were early, they're low duration, and they just are not enough. Elephant, they are falling apart as they lose Red Panda, and it looks like they might lose some more.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman will have Blink shortly. But they're just going to go back. Potentially just take the Roshan if they want to be really safe. Otherwise, they might just want to force the TA buyback. Once they realize she doesn't have buyback, probably just go for the throne. And you can just see, if
Really
you commit your
just didn't do
BKBs to kill a Mars, there's no way you can ever win a fight. Shadow Shaman is there. Ella Titan is in the back.
And that was the perfect place for them to fight. The Earth Splitter hits on a 4. They'll call GG before the fight even happens. And Vici will take game number 1. So they do a really good job. Almost falls away for a second in the mid-game, but overall, really well.
The draft is just so much superior, really.
Yeah.
Like, they have better catch, better team fight, better late game. There's just really nothing that Elephant is better at.
Yeah.
At least with this draft. And yeah, really good job to VG, you know, proving again that they're actually a lot better than people originally thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Elephant got to work on the draft a little bit in game 2 if they want to stand a chance against VG here. They didn't play poorly at all. It's just, it's so tough. You saw this Troll, like, he struggled every fight. Minus
every
100
single
damage.
fight, even with the BKB.
Yeah, it's just nothing you can do.
By
Like,
the-
Troll, too hard of a counter.
Yeah,
Or
by
rather,
the-
Razor is.
By the time he got to the later part of the game, BKB's 5 seconds.
Yeah,
They
and then
don't
you
really
get
care.
Requiemed after, or Shackled, or Hexed, anything. You're done.
Yep. So, simple game there for Vici. We'll see if Elephant can bring it back to break down game number 1. We got the panel. Back over to you guys.
A very good draft, very well executed from Vici Gaming, puts them in the lead in this series as they take the first match versus Team Elephant. And here to break it down for you, it's the Custom Lizard. Guys, give us the 4-1-1.
Usually, you know, like, it's very easy to say on the panel, it's just the draft. The draft was superior. This time around, it truly was that. Like, the draft was much better from Vici Gaming. You could see you can see that they were trying. Yang was playing really well on the side of Elephant. He TP's mid when he's level 5 after running back base with no HP, whatever. He TP's mid and recovers TA's lane. She was 1,000 gold behind. He gets a kill on Shadow Shaman, gets 6, then gets a kill on Shadow Fiend with her. Pretty much recovers Somnus's game, but still, throughout the game, you could see that it was very difficult for them to execute. They found a couple of kills on Razor on bottom lane, but this fight, I believe right here, is exactly what happened afterwards. They get the Razor on bottom lane, And then they feed 4 on
Shut
top.
up, Blizzard. Check the power of Shadow Shaman in this fight. Like, this is the best hero in Dota right now. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's all about positioning, being able to, like he blinks on the high ground, uses Shackle, uses Hex, TA, Hex, done after that, and he's gonna use, like, his spells multiple times in a row. They're gonna be fighting 2 versus 5, like just Shadow Fiend and Shadow Shaman together, the power of shadows. And yeah, it's just you need to have a hero that can potentially save Shadow Shaman. He got a lot of farm early on, got that blink, lens. You can't split push against Shadow Shaman, so that's also a big problem when you're facing him, unless you have like a Lincoln Sphere, but sometimes that doesn't even help. I was talking about save. They have Elder Titan, one of the best heroes to just disengage a team fight with his stomp.
He had Aeon Disc as well at one point, so it didn't really matter. Plus the ghost on him, yeah.
Every single one of his disables in that last fight we watched led to a kill, by the way. He used them like, 5 times.
And what Lacoste was saying, you can't split push against him. Yango's trying to, but PYW always on point there to catch him and disable him.
The way this mid lane started, Ori on Shadow Fiend gets 2 kills on TA. It's such a skilled matchup, you know. There's a lot of always discussion happening. Some players are favoring SF, some are favoring TA. Like, it's all about these small mistakes you make. Like, one side blades miss, you don't use it properly, you miss a raise, suddenly your lane just feels completely over. And Ori, man, when he's playing Dota, he's playing some like top tier Dota right there. I love the itemization on most of their heroes. Like Razor going for Heaven's Halberd. Didn't like the Falcon into Yules. I think it's too much mana investment. Like, you just have enough mana regeneration with one of these items, and then getting Heaven's Halberd, disassembling that. They get second Heaven's Halberd on Mars against 2 core. That's why I've said before the game started, I don't like the 2 cores that kind of do the same thing. They don't have mixed damage. It's all about physical.
Well, our MVP for this game is going to be Ori on the Shadow Fiend. A phenomenal laning phase, turning into a huge amount of pressure and aggression. But I do feel like it deserves an honorable mention for PYW, or maybe the thing we talked about before, where we have.
It does. Shadow Shaman definitely can be your second MVP, but Ori played. He played well. He itemized early on into that Shadow Blade. He didn't really do anything. Like, with the Shadow Blade, he saved himself once or twice, but that's pretty much it. But overall, his itemization was on point, and it felt
Did get a kill on Yang with the Shadow Blade at one point.
I got him.
Got him like later on after he got another item even or something. But usually when you buy that Shadow Blade, it's your first big impact item. You want to do something with it. It didn't really transfer into anything, but still, as a team, they played really well. And that one team fight, I believe, after Razor dying, after he dies and they kill 4 of them on the side of Elephant, is what turned this game completely, in my opinion, in Vici Gaming's favor.
So obviously the Shaman had a huge impact in this game, but I kind of feel like the Abaddon was drafted in order to kind of answer that a bit. But we didn't really see that. I mean, why weren't these saves coming out from Red Panda?
Because they had like so many stuff to deal with the Abaddon, like just a spear, Yule Scepters, that you hex him, you deal with the rest, Echo Stomp, you put him asleep for 5 seconds. Like, he can't really do too much as an Abaddon.
Just the arena as well, right? Like, you set that arena up.
You need to be close.
Yeah, you need to be close, and it's difficult in this game.
Too many fires and not enough buckets of water, unfortunately, in this game from Team
Well said,
Elephant.
Nomad.
Thank you very much. And that is going to put them behind 1 game. Can they come back into it and level out the series? Well, history says no, as Vici have 2-0'd all of their wins and 0-2'd all their losses. But maybe this is a time which turns it around. Elephant, the pressure is on now. They need to step it up. Can they do it? We'll find out after this break. and welcome back to the Dota Pro Circuit, where we're here in the Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. My name is Nomad, and joining me on the panel to get into game number 2, we've got Lizard and Lacoste. Guys, game number 1, bit of a stomping. For anyone that missed it, can you sum it up in a couple of words?
You know, couple of good counters against the Troll. This is why, you know, most of the time when you want to pick this hero, Razor gets banned, especially at the start of the DPC Chinese Season 1. We've seen that Lizard was a big fan, you know, talking about it all the time, like you need to ban out Razor, and we can see here why. Like, it's just almost impossible for him to play. To sum it up, you know, this game felt really over after like 20-25 minutes, but they wanted to take it slow, no mistakes being made, and yeah, Vici Gaming just closes it out. Pretty simple Dota.
Not really a couple of words, but we here on the panel have problems, you know.
Yeah, we would
With
like to
with
talk
counting.
aloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like the sound of our own voices here, but you know, it's part of the job.
But
It's part of
really,
the job.
what Lacoste said during the draft as well, what we didn't mention afterwards, is they picked Shadowfiend into Void Spirit, which forced Elephant to flex the Void Spirit on the offlane, and then, yeah, they flexed it. Then they picked TA into SF. That wasn't even that great of a matchup, apparently so at least. And then they follow up with the Troll, and your whole draft is because of that one move, because of that one flex pick, flexing of the Void Spirit from mid to offlane. It all fell apart.
I've seen it so many times,
Yep.
like Void Spirit just falling, being a victim to. Yeah, you need to play a different lane, and then he plays into tough matchup. I like mentioned Troll, I mentioned Draw Range or something that any range hero pretty much he doesn't like to play into. Troll try to itemize differently. I've seen that before, like even some MKB rushes when you're playing against Razor, so that your damage comes from something like Maelstrom procs, MKB procs, Bash procs. It was still not enough.
It wasn't
you know?
enough in the
yeah,
end,
like
no.
I felt like if he had one more item, they had one more item on TA possibly, not sure how, like if someone just sneaks in an item to them, they could have
Quick
had,
update.
you know, the game could have been
If
much
the
more even.
If the supports maybe somehow get a Lotus or a Lincolns to pop on him, but
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
I want to, like, part of the late game fights for me, right, they're so convincing, those late game fights, right? They drop everything on, like, the SF, who had Aegis, and then nearly killed him twice, didn't quite do it, SF gets away. The next fight, they threw everything onto the Mars, tried to blow him up, but he got all his kit off. Is there a problem with how Elephant are approaching these team fights to you guys?
Yeah, problem like if you look at their draft, who's the one who jumps in? Your position for Mirana, she shines more when you like kill one hero. Then there's like Yule's Arrow type of a setup where you can use it multiple times. Abaddon, like you didn't really feel the influence of Abaddon in that game because he just goes in, tries to bait some spells, they proc his ulti, Hex or Shackle after, and then he's done. So they did not have that like real initiator. Void Spirit's also not the classic one that starts a fight. Like he can go in, try to mess it up, maybe silence, but there's no real follow-up.
no real catch, no real solid catch, which allows you to take a target from 100 to 0. So it's just Shadow Shaman who does that exceptionally well on the side of Elephant. And the Mars
guess
was
who
there.
we're seeing again?
Yep. The Mars is there, and the Shadow Shaman is there by Vici Gaming.
PYW Shaman. He's mad that he didn't get the MVP. He's like, guys, pick me Shaman again. I need to show these idiots what's
I
up.
don't think he can play better. Like you cannot play better than what he did in the previous game. Pretty much, it's what you expect from your position for to do. Great, like overall laning, then rotations. His position. It's all about the positioning of these type of heroes that don't have like any escape mechanism. Very sluggish.
One big thing that has already changed for Elephant is this Mars. You already know, okay, we're gonna have at least a solid initiation, at least solid team fight with the Mars Arena, and you can flex him, but 99.9% this is your offlane and that's it. This is going to be played by Yang, and the draft already feels a little bit better for me.
Will
They loved
anyone-
Undying. They really loved their Undying Elephant in the last couple of weeks. Let's see if they decide to go
Oh,
for it.
Trian.
Okay.
No,
Similar, right? It's not the Undying. I've seen teams actually try this Treant versus Shadow Shaman. Ah, it's banned.
Oh, it's banned? Okay. Never mind that.
It's all right.
Of course, we knew that. Anyways,
yeah, of course.
going back to the Treant, as obviously Undying is banned, they go with another bulky boy. But we've seen it picked into Shadow Shaman to heal the towers, to shield the towers, to give the armor to the targets that Shadow Shaman goes on. But I've also seen it not do so well. Like, just
Yeah, it's
fall
one of
off.
those heroes that it's like hit or miss. He can look super good, or you feel like you're playing 4 versus 5 plus a living armor, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that's the way Elephant want to go after this last game as well.
And you know what, actually, thinking about Mars, when you pick him up, I love it. But Mars and Treant, I already feel like you have some catch, you have some overgrowth, but there is no damage coming into that arena from the Treant. Well, historically, this hero does many things, but even if you buy a Meteor Hammer for him, damage is not one of those things.
No, certainly lacking on that front, that's for sure. Need to think of
Vici Gaming
something.
really taking their time thinking about this pick. Like they, like what do we get? Something that can get outside of the arena, possibly something that can dispel things. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a Baton from them, to be honest.
There you go.
And they wouldn't mind
They-
seeing a Baton on them either, so they pick
Yeah.
it up. Good call.
Pretty solid versus the tree. His game right now is even worse, right? Like all that he does, even his overgrowth, you just shield it off and scurry away. So
What are
Abaddon
they
pretty
doing?
good.
They banned out Lashrak. Like the first thing comes to my mind, Phantom Lancer. Second one is Slark. So maybe Elephant trying to bait things. I'm not sure why we don't see more of a Lashrak. Like this hero is super good. I don't think this hero has many bad matchups. Possibly like Nyx Assassin, Pugna. Pugna's just not a hero right now, but like definitely need to be worried about Nyx. TB, okay.
Alrighty.
Another one, like you said, that Lash does well against. PL probably is the first one that comes to my mind too.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Any of those illusion heroes, really.
Alchemist is still in the pool, by the way, not banned out. OD is still in the pool, not banned out. Puck is still in the pool. You can see the meta is shifting completely. All these heroes that we considered either tier 1 picks or bans in the first phase, they're actually true.
It's very support focused now, isn't it? We've got the Abaddon, the Shaman, the Undying, the Oracle, the Phoenix. 5 heroes all contested in the first phase.
It happens so many times that the hero is actually broken, but he's picked only in specific situations because of, let's say, this Shadow Shaman versus Puck, right? And then suddenly you realize, damn, like, that shard is sick. Damn, that hero is just very good no matter what.
Yep.
What is Trian's shard? Is it like some damage or whatever it is? I don't actually know that.
I haven't played Treant, like, in this year, at least.
For a reason, you know, hero just doesn't feel that strong. I love, once again, like Shaman, a Baton opening. You have a hero that can protect the Shadow Shaman, so you can just blow him up instantly. Like, one of the reasons why I love Tide Hunter paired up with the Shaman as well, where you have, like, superior team fight and, again, one way to protect him.
And the Alchemist ban from Vici Gaming that we mentioned earlier, they get rid of that. Elephant. After the Beastmaster, what are they going to get rid of? Vici Gaming right now, either a playmaker on the mid lane or your solid offlaner is what they need. They get rid of the DP. Alright.
What's the damage? Like, what's the combo with Elephant? Inside the arena, Mars plus Treant Protector. I would love if they could somehow get the hands on Monkey King. Unfortunately, it's banned out because this is something that the OG try to do with the Treant Protector and the Monkey. I've seen like Mars Monkey, which has been popular pretty much across all other regions. But what is that one hero that really just benefits from it?
They need something on 4, right? Like your position 4 FY, he really needs to bring in the heavy punch.
Yeah.
Talking
Together
about
with this
Punch, Tusk
Playmaker.
God.
Oh,
There
here
you
we
go. FY Tusk God.
I wouldn't mind. It's also another save against like Shaman's Shackles, against the Hex.
A hero that's not really popular at all or picked, but FY is a god of, and I wouldn't mind seeing his Rubik even, versus Abaddon, versus Shadow Shaman. Whatever you steal feels good.
So they have a hero that
Chandelier.
can go inside the arena. Pango doesn't like to play that much like into Treant, anything that can lock him down during his ulti.
Yeah, in the last couple of weeks, at least, we haven't seen teams in China pick up Pango that much. In SEA, it was
Yeah, it's
pretty
super
much
popular.
tier 1 pick.
I feel like this draft is like really long, considering how some of the drafts are going. You know, they're really taking their
No,
time.
when you think about Yabadon, they already went into reserve time in the first stage of the draft, and same goes for Elephant right now in the second. They're really taking their time, and they're picking some heroes like this tree, and it throws you off. You can see the problems that you instantly get with this hero. But how do they solve them? They go with the Grimstroke, okay, but still, I actually looked at their drafts. They did pick Grimstroke a couple of times, but there's nothing to go with Soulbind here. Like you don't have a combination.
I was thinking about it because I spam a lot of Pango. Don't like to play into Grimstroke and also Treant Protector on top of that. But yeah, they can still have like something, possibly like a Dragonite maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Very tanky, doesn't care too much about these heroes from Vici Gaming. But
and they
yeah,
had that combo.
it's a core Pango right now, so you know it's gonna be a rough one for him. Playing into Leash Mechanic, playing into Silence, Root. Not going to be an easy one, and that's a core Pango.
Interesting draft analysis here, though. It does seem to be Vici Gaming that have the edge, just generally a little bit more well-rounded. Probably Mars seems to score so highly on Roshan and tower damage, but I guess we do see him, you know, the ability to clear waves very easily. And tank Roshan as well.
I would actually love to see... the problem is, that Dragonite that you're talking about, he would have to be mid, right? Because of Mars. But on the Elephant side, it would give them a good combo Soulbind into blinking in, then stunning with Dragon Tail afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. You need something there.
The Inkswell is pretty good with the Dragon as well. Plus, the anime is coming out in very soon, what, 10-15 days, so we need to prepare. But Weaver, same draft, by the way. Literally, the draft that they had Dragonite is the draft that they had Weaver in as well. And that was the Somnus Weaver that Weaver... yeah, it didn't look that great.
I like this Raid King. I don't think Raid King... They don't have answer for Raid King in this game. They need to shut him down completely, which is not the case. Raid King always finds the farm with his Skelly Bros. Overall, Vici Gaming's draft looks super solid. Only pretty much lockdown they have against Weaver is Shadow Shaman. They have like one save, Treant Protector's armor. It's a very tough lane to play into if it's a Grimstroke plus Weaver, Shikuchi on top of Inkswell.
I think it will be Grimstroke plus Mars versus Raid King Abba, right? Like this lane is also very solid. And then you just protect the Weaver with a Treant on safe lane. I really think Mars with the Spear and Inkswell, that should be very, very spooky for the Raid King even to play into. So we'll see. They can still switch things up, but for me so far, Elephant's draft looks actually pretty solid.
I like it. I like it. The one thing I do want from them, though, is just a mid lane in which goes in deep. Something which is going to jump on top of that Shaman and bring him down. Because you can't let PYW go unchecked again. We saw what happened when they did that last
So
game.
you're just saying spirits, right? One of the spirits or Puck. And there you go. Stormband out, Puck.
Or something like that, yeah. Anything down that avenue would tickle my pickle greatly.
They had Alchemist and Dragonite instead of Mars. Instead of Mars, pretty much. Yeah.
I just want to see like one single target ability that can just, you know, be thrown inside the Grimstroke ulti. That's why I mentioned Dragonite. I still feel it's a very good pick. Doesn't care too much about like Abaddon, Raid King. You can stand your ground.
Stormband out as well. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Dragon at all for Elephant.
What's like the other possibility that like something that's like more of a playmaking than a Dragonite? Because Dragonite needs a Blink Dagger to be able to initiate into a fight. Just get that good jump.
Void Spirit Band. There's Ember still in the pool that you could go for, right? Which is something. It's the only spirit left actually remaining.
I mean, if they didn't want to go for one of these deep diving heroes, is there a possibility for a Pugner or something here? Does that not really work?
Well, they could.
Invoker, possibly. Mana burn until like minute 17-20 when Raid King gets the shard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good job.
And it's a good way to deal with the Abaddon, like just mana burn, deal with the Shadow Shaman, Tornado in the backline. So they need to pick something against Invoker on a mid lane. Queen of Pain's not an option against like Leash Mechanic, against
OD
Tornado.
also not really
And
that great.
I'm just thinking like the options for Vici Gaming right now. I like this Invoker pick.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They're out of time. They have like 7 seconds left.
Dragonite, they go with the
Dragonite.
DK.
Yoink.
Okay.
Okay, well, Vici Gaming line up their draft with a DK, and that is going to put the punch to their draft. But which do we prefer?
Actually, of course, this Dragonite is pretty good for them because they needed that extra catch, some extra reliable stun. Because Shadow Shaman PYW in that first game, he did a lot, but they need a little bit more this time around. They don't have that Mars, and yeah, I like the Dragonite last pick, but for me, Elephant, I have a feeling they want this draft.
They didn't have many options left on the mid lane. Like Dragonite seemed like the safe option, which doesn't care about too much mana his being burned. It doesn't care about harassment coming out from the Invoker, static damage from Elephant. So Dragonite feels like very safe. Combined with the Wraith King, that's a lot of tankiness. I'm just a bit worried if they can control Abaddon and Shadow Shaman, like you pretty much win the game. I'm still leaning towards Vici Gaming in this one. I feel like Dragonite could be that factor, you know, and like Ori just feels like super good right now. I think he's like in the mood.
Yep.
All right, listen.
Ori Dragonite is scary, no doubt about it. I'll still go with Elephant. I think they want this draft.
Solid points made by both, and I think this is an incredibly difficult one to call. I am just going to lean it in favor of Vici. Another PYW game. They don't have the abilities to take care of him. They do have a little bit more lockdown, but I just can't go against PYW when he's on form like this right now. He is destroying. I'm talking about people who are destroying. Let's bring in our very lovely a commentary duo of Black and Bcop. Guys, what are we thinking? Very quickly as we are into the game.
I'm going to go Elephant. That's it. That's all I got.
All right,
I don't know,
Elephant.
you make me go first. I didn't have enough time to really think about anything else.
Okay, now I like Vici simply because Elephant has a history of not being able to close out games, and I think this Wraith King and late game is just gonna be too much.
Alrighty then, 3 for Vici, 2 for Elephant. We'll see how it goes. Handing it across to you guys, Bcop and Black, take it away for game number 2.
Thank you very much. Nomad coming into game number 2. Elephant, a lot on the line here for them. And, well, really the same for Vici. If they win here, they're probably
They're guaranteed top 4 at least.
30 seconds
Which, of
to
course,
battle.
you know, it's always good to know that you are going to the major. Of course, you don't know where you're going to end up be, but
maybe even
just know that you
guaranteed
can go
top
to the majors.
3 with 5-1, right?
I don't think any other team can reach 5 anymore, right?
Yeah.
But top 3 is still the wild card, so same thing, really. But yeah, the only reason why I went for Vici is because I think Elephant, this Invoker pick, was really strong, and they might be getting a first spot down here.
The battle begins.
We'll see what they can get. Got themselves a
Brimstone.
grasp, and now Old 11 trying to use that Swashbuckler to get some distance, taking a lot of damage, but they won't be able to kill off this Pangolier. Early Aphotic Shield from DY. Everybody's safe as it's just a bounty rune right now for Yang.
Yeah, everybody's safe and sound, but now he's stuck with Inkswell level 1. It's not something you want on the lane, just to be able to secure range creeps and stuff. But of course, Mars can do it himself, so it should still be fine.
Yeah, you want to make sure now you're picking up enough experience to get that to that level 2 quickly on your Grimstroke, right? Because you want that Stroke of Fate.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if this game goes late game, Vici will crush them. I don't really see many chances for this Weaver Invoker draft in late game. They do have a very scary and strong mid timing though. But yeah, as I said, Elephant for me, at least, they thrive in late game, and they're usually
Oh no.
Dire's
PYW's
turret
Courier.
oh,
killed.
killed, huh?
Yeah.
One hit by the Treant and it's gone.
It's just he didn't recognize that he was going after the tree, and it came across as Eurus just had complete vision on it because these trees are gone.
Yeah, gotta play the good old Woodchopper.
I think Swell's not going to do too much.
Yeah, Inkswell is a pretty useless spell on lane like this. You're definitely gonna need your level 2 relatively quickly. This DK Invoker lane is It's not terrible for DK at all. Like, you don't really care about his right clicks ever. He gets his level 2 in Dragon's Blood. And you're just always going to be full health, pretty much. And then we'll just come down to rotations.
Yeah, so far, Somnus going Quas Wex to start. And we'll see how he kind of progresses with this Invoker. What are you looking for if you're the Invoker in the mid part of this game? Like, what are you trying to, like, max out? And
You definitely want to have max Wex, because the reason why they picked this Invoker is EMP is super disruptive.
Right.
For both the Dragon Knight, Wraith King, and Pangolier, pretty much everybody, really. They're all so mana dependent. One good EMP can really just win your team fight. He's probably going to go into a fast Vessel, because Vessel absolutely destroys Dragon Knight. But then again, they do have an Abaddon to dispel him.
Yeah, right now he's going into the Falcon Blade.
Never seen that on Invoker. Would be nice to see that as well.
We'll see how that kind of shows itself, if it's not really that standard item that we see all too much.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of back and forth. You've got the Invoker 10 and 2, DK 12 and 5. They have found DY. Not a lot of mana left on FY, and Yang trying to chase. They just don't have the damage to do so. And FY will push DY even further back, forcing him all the way back to base.
Yep.
Pretty much where he was going regardless. But keeps him out of lane, makes it a 1v1. And you've got Yang, who's just trying to keep up with Erica at the moment.
Yeah. Wraith King is getting pressured quite a bit, which is good. He's not free farming. And I said, like, late game, this hero is really the one that will take over this game. Stunning the Mars here, the Skeletons. They're going to put some damage in, but they won't be able to kill him, of course.
Yeah, stun into the Skeletons almost simultaneously. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, just looking at the lanes, so they're all very, very even so far.
It's not what we saw in the last game where Erica was just getting a free time as the Razor.
Yep. And of course, also, Ori doesn't have a matchup where you can really dominate in. It's really just both are kind of just free farming here. They're both going into Falcon Blade, actually.
That item's gaining a lot of popularity.
It's a good item. It gives you health, mana regen, attack damage.
First blood comes out for old 11 on Red Panda.
Did not expect that to happen. Usually a Weaver Treant lane,
Should be pretty safe.
yeah, like it's an amazing lane that should win you the lane, but ended up losing it. But of course, Weaver is still farming very well. This Pangolier, though, he's like the guy that will set the pace for the Dire team, and he's having a really good time himself right now.
He can make things a little bit difficult for Eurus as the game moves on.
Not only Euros, all of them really. Like, you don't care about the arena, you can just roll in and out of it as you please. Invoker is pretty scared of his ult. Like, this Pangolier, if he has a good game, he can really break it wide open.
Right.
Methinks you wanted that.
So DK is going to be reaching level 6 in just about one and a half waves. And I'm expecting some pressure to come out into the tower here. Potentially some rotations as well. Now Falcon Blade picked up by the DK already.
And
It's going to be
Samus
extremely tanky.
is sitting pretty low. No mana there for the Dragon Tail at the moment.
It's
Just
going to be
enough
6
for the
after this
Breathe
creep,
Fire.
potentially. No, nothing coming in.
Now he's got that Elder Dragon form.
Yeah, want to pop it straight away to harass the tower, do some damage. PYW is here. There are 3 heroes here right now. Dragon Tail.
Now Dragon Tail comes in under the tower. It's going to be a little bit difficult. They're trying to get the heal in for the Treant. Stroke of Fate, Tornado, but still goes down.
The last hit.
Ink Swell
FY has to be careful here.
hits on to PYW, FY in a little bit deep. They've still got 2 heroes that can dive under the tower with the creeps here. And FY playing with fire.
DY
Going that
actually
close.
ran into that ink swell and got exploded by it. A little bit. That's a cocky here by the Abaddon. Should not have been a kill for the Grimstroke, really. Now securing both sides of the rune. And it's going to be an illusion rune. Which is an amazing rune for Shadow Shaman. I thought DK was going to pick it up, but Shadow Shaman picked up the bottle from the Pangolier.
Yeah.
Just to refill it.
So now he's Invis coming bottom, has an illusion rune.
Should not be able to result in any kills, you know. No level 6 on Pango yet.
Hex
As I
Jack
say
on
that, though-
Eurus, though. Got the reincarnation
pop.
popped, and Yang still trying to run. Stroke of Fate slowing him down. Yang, though, with the
Euros
spear.
died.
So he's going to stay safe, and Eurus does end up dying over bottom.
I did not think they had the damage and lockdown to kill him. But he's Takushied in very aggressively, not expecting at all that the Shadow Shaman could be Invis there.
Yeah.
Which is strange, because they saw him run bottom with the Invis rune still bottled. Oh well.
This is so far so good for Vici.
Yeah, silence are going pretty well.
I
Right?
would say that losing that reincarnation makes Erica a little vulnerable. Maybe they can follow that up with a second kill.
Yep, especially Mars, going to be level 6 soon, and just 2 creep waves. He might just resort back to the jungle here on Wraith King. And Invoker now struggling quite a bit. 13 CS behind. He picked out his Falcon Blade, but it doesn't really seem very impactful. No Urn to set up some Cold Snap kills. Yeah, Somna's struggling quite a bit here in game 2 as well.
Now he's got a little bit of a boost thanks to that Royal Jelly. But
DK
again, Elder
popping ult
Dragon
again.
form and pushing in mid.
Yeah, the tower's taking a lot of chip damage, and again, Shadow Shaman is here. Look at the sentries that the Dire put. Just complete mid control. They don't want Radiant to have any sort of vision here. So someone has to be very scared of these rotations. This is really what you want to do. When you have a Dragon Knight, you just want to pressure the mid tower and rotate middle a lot. Just to make the enemy mid super uncomfortable.
Inkswell pops on top of the Abaddon, and they'll land that spear. They'll get the kill.
Yep.
Arcane Rune bottom, so they'll pick that up and maybe go for a kill on Eurus once again.
This time they have roll. So if he gets hexed out of position and shackled, this roll can really, really deal a lot of damage to him.
At least he's 6. He's got time lapse. Maybe he could survive, but it's still been quite tough for him. I've liked that every time Elder Dragon form has been popped by Ori, PYW is there to be the support and potentially get a kill.
Yeah. And now Red Panda comes in to clear the wards. Very good, because, as I said, when you play this DK, it's really all about the mid control. Chipped vest on DK now. Just sitting at a casual 22 health region, why not?
Wow.
Always nice to have that, 8 minutes in. It's kind of ridiculous. It's level 3 Dragon Blood only as well.
So it's going to get better.
It is gonna get better. Wraith King going into the jungle.
There's 3 Falcon Blades in this game right now.
Yeah, it's very popular in China actually. More so than in any other region, I believe.
Yeah. We see like Lanham pick up Falcon Blade a lot. Inkswell, DY, caught again, killed off again. And DK makes the rotation towards top, but he's immediately hit with the Phantom's Embrace. And
He did not have Dragon anyways, so gives a lot of breathing room to the Invoker, who has been struggling, as we said. But
yeah, that's
now
an interesting rotation to come top without Elder Dragon form, at least immediately on that.
Yeah, just trying to be a bro and help his support. Oh yeah, just making his way back middle. And he's itemizing into Blink Dagger first. Wraith King going face boots straight.
Tornado EMP with the arena down. They have the spear. They've landed everything onto the DK. Can they get the kill? Even with 24 regen, he's killable. So they do get the kill.
1600 health, 23 HP region. Who cares? A lot of damage here. Grimstroke is so damn strong as a support. It's crazy.
PYW's courier dies. That's pretty significant.
Euros. Nice, fine. No Shadow Shaman around.
I was holding his arcane boots. It's not going to be a long time for it to respawn, but it definitely slows down the arcane boots for PYW, which feels really bad.
Yeah. They're 2k ahead here on Elephant, and it's all the support money. It's actually crazy how farmed the supports are on the raid inside compared to the Dire.
Now look at Abaddon, just hitting 1,000 net worth.
Trian is at 2.5, Grimstroke at 2.9. Hex into Shaman wards.
Oh, can they get this? They've got the Invoker in trouble. God's Rebuke not looking like they're going to get anything. 4 heroes come over.
Yeah, they really want to get this mid tower here.
Really jumping in and making it just a bundle of heroes here for Vici.
Wraith still farming away in the jungle. Trian, no mana for ult.
And not enough mana at the moment.
Stun on
FY has
Grimstroke.
Arcane Boots in 7 seconds. If he could get it off, but the Rolling Thunder coming in, and he may not be able to get it. Yeah, he dies with Arcane
Master
Boots
trouble
on
as well.
cooldown, and now it looks like they might be able to get the kill on the Yang. They've used this Overgrowth, but for nothing.
Someone's
Invoker
ping back
finally
in.
coming back in. Eurus is here. Swashbuckle hits onto Eurus, who's using that Shikuchi to try and be disruptive in the fight. They've got the cold snap onto the DK.
Big stick,
who's
though.
Trying to run. He's got 20 charges on that wand, and he should be A-OK. EMP comes down. They've used the time lapse. Eurus moving forward. Old 11 really low. Pops his own wand. Swashbuckles away. Red Panda throws down the Nature's Grasp. Is it enough slow? It might be, but now he's under the tower. Needs to be a little bit careful, but they're continuing forward looking for Ori. Somnus helping out as he's got 2 heroes to get his back, but Ori's not dying. Eurus is, and he falls to the Ether Shock of the right click coming in from Ori.
Yeah, good TP there by Ibaran, just in the nick of time. Saving the Dragon Knight there. Somnus has to be a little bit careful here. It was just too over-eager. You did not need to dive the Dragon Knight there. You kind of salvaged the fight, you know, but now with losing the Weaver, they lost almost 2,000 gold advantage with that fight.
Wow. Yeah. A lot just going wrong. That overgrowth didn't feel like it did anything.
The thing is, Grimstroke died too early. Like, he deals so much damage in these fights. He could not get an Ink Swell off. He could not get his Stroke of Fate off at all.
Interesting
And
to note.
this is why you should buy Magic Sticks.
What are you looking for? Like, at what level are you trying to go Solva in here for FY? Could it have been a difference maker? They do, though, have the lockdown with Inkswell. Erica, he'll lose his reincarnation again. They do have Yang here with the arena. God's Rebuke, Spear lands, and Erica's dead twice. They will lose Red Panda off in the mid lane as they're still using these Serpent Wards to try and get the tower, but no way to stop that.
Huge mistake there, getting caught out like that. Slows his Radiance timing down by quite a bit. 800 away from the Relic, but at least the team manages to trade for the mid tower, which, when you play against the Treant, doing chip damage is not really viable at all because he's going to heal it back up to full. So you really need to hard commit. They commit the Dragon as well as the Shaman wards. And then they smoke up for wards only. So it was a ward smoke. Pretty popular amongst the post 5 players.
Maelstrom almost finished for Eurus, who really needs to recover. Uh-oh. Caught again. Hex. They've got the Sentry down. PYW ready to just lock down this Weaver. But he's able to use that time lapse and
Dragon Knight has Blink Dagger though. If you get stunned one more time.
Ooh, Eurus. Another
Hex.
Sentry.
Blink stun.
They don't have vision of him anymore.
Oh, that was so close. He was almost in range with the Dragon Knight there.
It's a bit of gold spent trying to get that kill with those sentries. Yang moving over. He's got Blink Dagger. He has Arena up in 8.
Oh, nice dodge there.
11 though.
Overgrowth as well?
Overgrowth. And they're not going. Interesting move. They don't have this ult. Now there's the Blink Dragon Tail. Inkswell on cooldown. And Red Panda looking like he's just dead.
Yep. All that early accumulated gold lead, now gone. Back to even completely. Wraith King, 100 away from the Relic. We spoke about the Radiance timing. It's really going to be a big problem for Radiant here. Did I say Radiant timing? Radiance, sorry.
It's close enough.
Same thing, pretty much, yeah.
Interesting.
Another
Invoker's
smoked up.
going Falcon Blade, Witch Blade.
Yeah, I really don't like this itemization here. I will talk about that later. Dragon Knight, he's smoked up. They have a stun. If they stun his Invoker, he might just die.
Yeah, Blink Dragon Tail with the Breathe Fire. He tries to get away in Viz. They did take the tower out, so Ghostwalk, he's able to get himself some space. They throw down the arena, but Yang is quickly dispatched. Stroke of Fate hits on Old 11 as well as PYW with the Mist Coil coming in to keep PYW healthy. Dragon Tail now on to Eurus. He does have that time lapse.
Yeah, they have some serious revelation problems here on Dire. This Weaver might have been in trouble, and this Invoker would have been dead if they just had one Dust or a Sentry Ward down. But as it stands, it's still a lot of space for Wraith King. They do manage to get the kill, but did lose the tower in the trade. Yeah, coming back to this Invoker itemization, it's very squishy. I don't like it at all, because if they go on him, like, he'll just die. There's too many weak items, I like to call them.
Right.
Like, for me, I would go either Falcon Blade or Witch Blade, but going both, it's just too much, in my opinion. And we'll see if it backfires or not, but he's really weak, you know? He's sitting at 5.6k net worth, 1300 health. It's nothing.
You saw how quickly, just like one Dragon Tail Breathe Fire, a couple right clicks, he's almost dead at that point.
Yeah. If they had a Sentry down there, he is dead. And it's only going to get worse once his Wraith King picks up his Radiance, which is 200 gold away. And that's really when they're their strongest. And they've already been winning fights without the Wraith King.
So What's the purpose of this build right now coming out from the Invoker?
I mean, it deals damage, but I don't think damage is what you're really lacking in this draft. I feel like it's more control. Like, your job is to burn the mana and control the enemy heroes in this draft. Grimstroke, Mars, as well as Weaver are the ones that are really supposed to put up the damage here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Interesting, so we'll see
Dire's structures
See if it pays off or not. Roll.
what he could do with this, and Overgrowth defensively again.
Yeah, it's a longer cooldown than the roll, though. So still a decent trade for Vici. And Radiance is flying out now for the Wraith King. See if he wants to take the fight right away, or if he wants to be a bit more conservative.
Yeah, does he want
farm that
that
shard up
+1?
first. Or smoking bottom. Or not smoking, rather running bottom. But he should not be getting caught out here again. Summons the skeletons to push out the lane. Well done.
FY, interesting coming out. Aetherland's now Axe. So he wants that ult. He wants to be able to use that Dark Portrait.
On Wraith King is one of the best. He has Radiance, and that crit is really gonna decimate that Shadow Shaman. He's gonna bleed if he gets it. But still, of course, good 4,000 gold away from it.
Yeah, so he really needs to find some farm priority, find some open space. Otherwise, this just isn't coming.
Yeah. Yang is so farmed on that Pangoli, actually. So is Mars. It's really just Somnus here that's struggling quite a bit. He's going into Boots of Travels next. Like, he's going full glass cannon. It's actually insane. If he gets away with it, it could potentially work, but I don't see him getting away with this.
We'll see if he commits to that. Still a little bit of gold away to get that. Trying to push out bottom, do what he can. Get his way back into this. Compared to the DK, he's 2k behind.
Yeah, but DK did not go into a BKB, going into Saint Yasha. I feel like BKB is a must-have this game. So we'll see if he goes back into it or not. But not a big fan of this Saint Yasha item build here. I feel like once you have BKB, you just blink in and you're invulnerable. Shadow Shaman. Netherlands already picked up, going to the Blink Dagger next.
Speaking of BKBs, Eurus, he's about 1,100 gold away from his. Smoke up from Vici. They're going to head towards bot, maybe through mid.
Yeah.
But nobody's here.
And there's 20 stick charges ready to go on Wraith King. And he's probably just going to keep it for that EMP that's eventually going to fall down on him. They're smoking mid lane. They did see that they put down a ward, so they should not be getting caught off guard here. That's Sentry Ward in a very good spot. Preemptively seeing that
Radiant's bottom tower
Observer Ward.
So has the odds. They'll go to the Elder Dragon form, blink forward, go for the tier 2 bot. Glyph, Serpent Wards,
They're going hard
everything
commitment
getting committed to this. And we've talked about how you need to commit if you're going up against Treant Arena, as well as the Spear. Now a TP in coming through from Red Panda. He's immediately hit by Dragon Tail, Wraith Fire Blast, and one right click. He comes in and basically just dies.
They have to be really careful here to commit into the Shadow Shaman wards. It's very risky.
Yeah, they're backing off this fight a little bit, and they just leave the tower to die. It was like a half commitment into an almost reluctant commitment.
Yeah, I spoke about this before. Like, this Radiance on this Wraith King makes it so hard to fight into, especially without BKBs. This missed chance, this overtime damage. Shadow Shaman wards, a balance saving left and right. It's just too much to deal with right now. And they're going to need BKBs eventually. I do hope Invoker is going for a BKB as well, rather than this treble. I don't think these trebles will contribute anything. And the later this game goes, the more I'm favoring Vici in this one. So Elephant will need to get something done once the BKB on his Weaver is online.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Illusion Rune also picked up on his Wraith King. It's a perfect rune to just be able to push out all lanes for free.
Get some gold, push out these lanes.
You have to kill these illusions right away.
Otherwise, you're getting all your lanes pushed in, like you said.
Yeah. He already has Sange on Wraith King now. Very close to Blink Dagger next. And he's slowly but surely pulling away from the pack.
Yeah, Eurus isn't exactly farming out of control, and he's going into the Shard next.
Yeah. Euro still very farmed though. Going into the Shard against... Maybe just really values the Shard. Dragon Knight top.
They're going to go with the Shikuchi. They'll try to get
No
the
damage.
damage out, but it just is not nearly enough.
This Nether Shawl is one of the best items in Dragon Knight. It reduces your armor by 3, but you have an abundance of armor anyways, and you get 25% magic resistance. Hate playing against Nether Shawl. Too good.
Yeah. at 43% magic resist, 50% physical resistance.
Yep. Still, no BKB. He did commit for that Saint Yasha, which means their frontline is not as unbreakable as it seems. Because the DK is still vulnerable. He can get ice walled, can potentially be a lot of damage coming out from the Invoker, who did commit for the travels.
Couple of creeps hit there by FY trying to get that Ags. Really wants that Ags, and he's got the point booster. That could be the difference in the high ground siege, maybe.
It can be. Like, if you get a Dark Portrait on both Dragon Knight and Wraith King, the fight is won. Like, these two portraits are so strong in this game. Weaver has to be very careful. If he gets hexed first, they don't have a save for him.
They seal old 11, but he's able to swashbuckle away. They've got the silence. Here comes Erica. Tornado only hits out of the DK. They've got yours with the BKB. Yang already dead. Meteor down. Soulbind used. That's going to connect up the Wraith King over to the DK. DK falls, so they take out the Dragon Knight, but they look over. They found themselves Somnus. They've got the Deafening Blast that hits on Yang as well as Erica, or old 11 and Erica, as Erica blinked forward on that.
No BKB.
Gets hit by the
on
Ink
Eurus
Swell.
now. Careful. Rian will be sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. Red Panda just getting destroyed.
But this is what I spoke about. You see, DK thinks he's very strong, blinks in, gets blown up. If he had a BKB there, nobody would have died. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's also going into the BKB after that, probably also recognizing, yeah, my item build is a little bit cocky. Just a little bit.
They are up 5K. It was a what, a 2K, 3K lead for Elephant. Their supports were very farmed, but we start to see
anymore.
like PYW make his way back. He's got a lot of farm. He's going into the Aether, or he has the Aether ones going into the Blink Dagger. You really are hoping FY can make some good progress on this Ags.
Yeah. Once he has this blink, everyone has to be so scared once more. Shadow Shaman with blink Ether Lens is so damn scary. And Weaver is itemizing into the Lincolns. You know me. Oh, Yang.
Yeah, in
Careful
trouble
here.
Old 11.
And just dead again.
He's got that Blink Dagger with the Rolling Thunder. That's always going to disrupt these fights, and it's going to make it very difficult for Elephant to want to commit on this. And you see the Inkswell was out onto the Weaver, but he stops short. He doesn't want to go in. 4v5, it's just asking to die.
And Weaver itemizing into the Lincolns is gonna result, I think, in a lot of damage problems. They can barely kill the Wraith King once, or the DK.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna have to work against an Aegis. And these items are just rolling in for the dire side here.
So, Red Panda's going Solar Crest. He's got the medallion right now. Would you have maybe wanted to like Blink Dagger? If he could blink in, get an overgrowth? Because he's dying very quickly in these fights. Would you think that that might be a little bit more like to help the team get a blink overgrowth, maybe cause the fight to be a little bit disrupted, or is that just too much gold, not enough results potentially?
Yeah, I quite like the Solar Crest actually, kind of to just make up for some damage that you're lacking, as well as survivability, some of your heroes. Because as I said, like for me, this game, Invoker's job is to be the guy that controls the team fights.
Yeah.
So like Treant can afford to just like walk in quite late and overgrowth post BKBs. You have Grimstroke, Inkswell, you have Mars Arena. There's like lots of ways to set up for you. So I quite like this item build. Also gives them some more Roche potential later on into the game.
FY
Dire's top tower is under
hits old
attack.
11 with that
Closing in.
swashbuckle. He's got 1,000 gold. Still needs 2,000 more.
It could be a game-winning Aghanim's this game.
They have to hold on long enough for him to be able to pick it up, and it's just you're not getting a lot of farm on Grimstroke.
I just realized he has a 400 health talent on DK. Why? On level 15. That is crazy. You just get 400 health for free. Okay. Why not?
That or 25 damage.
Yeah. Obvious which one's the best. 25 damage. No, but no, this 400 health talent is amazing. Like, it's so much free health that you just suddenly just get. For some heroes, it's a level 20 talent.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, a nice D-Ward there. Well, I say that, but they need another 2 Sunstrikes for that one. Of course, the Tinker Ward.
Top lane.
Are scattered.
Oh, Eurus. Shikuchi's in, trying to leave. But old 11, he's here. You got to remember, he's got the Blink Dagger. But it's on cooldown at the moment.
Wraith King just very aggressively pushing out the mid lane. Level 3 Reincarnation online now. Shard also online.
So EMP doesn't feel nearly as effective.
Yeah. And I really haven't felt this Invoker impact yet in this game. was very late into the pick, and into the draft. Pretty much last pick for them.
Yeah. And he's gone bots BK.
I don't know what his item is. Like Falcon Blade, Witch Blade, Boots of Travel into BKB. It's like all over the place, really. Kind of feels like he's very indecisive. He doesn't know what he wants to commit for.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Which a lot of people have the same problem on a Quartz Wax Invoker. You know, you're spoiled for choice. You just want to get everything, but sometimes it's a little bit too much.
There are Meteor and a Stroke of Fate bottom.
FY. Now, 1600 gold away.
Not quick progress, but he's getting there.
Radiant's top tower is under
Or he's
attack.
hoping to.
Giving him a little bit of the farm priority now as well. Shaman, Blink Dagger picked up now.
Radiant's middle tower is
Dragon
under
Knight,
attack.
600 away from BKB.
It's going to be a bit of a power spike here for Vici.
Yep, and Wraith King also
Radiant's
farming up his
top
BKB.
tower
So it looks
is
like they
under
just want to
attack.
use this Aegis not to really pressure too much, but just to get their BKBs up. Because post BKB, we spoke about it, there's no damage on Elephant right now at all. Weaver going very defensively with BKB as well as Lincoln, so there's no damage coming through BKB there. His only damage item is a Maelstrom, which gets, of course, nullified by BKB.
Right.
It's going to be a tough battle. When these BKBs are online, the damage problem is real.
He's almost got the Lincolns. Question is, what does he want to go after that?
You need to go, like, you can't afford to go any sort of defensive item at all anymore. Like, just go Daedalus, go all the damage you can. You will need it.
And they're coming up towards top. They want to go for this once again. FY in the
to be
trees.
careful. They know his
Stroke of
position
Fate.
now.
Almost hit old 11, and yeah, Erica's there. He's just dead so quickly. And that's going to slow down that Ags again, which is a desperation item
Mars?
pickup. They've got the Mars silenced and shackled, so these supports controlling him enough where Yang now, he's probably going to die. BKB committed. Spear, and I'm fine with that if you're Vici, right? You just get a nice 10-second BKB for not much commitment.
Big mistake, though, by Ori. He stunned him pretty much with a full shackle duration still left. I don't think the Mars should have gotten away there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But as it stands, they can't defend mid tower without that Mars BKB, so they're probably just going to get another free tower here. Age is still up for a little longer. 2, 1, and gone.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yang's
falling.
looking for an Ags as well.
Roshan may respawn in 3 minutes. This is going to be the next target again for VG. As I said, they're not under any time pressure at all. The way Elephant also itemized, he's going into Mjolnir on Weaver. Not a big fan. I already said they have no damage through BKB, and he's further doubling down on that magic damage.
Are scanning.
Invoker,
Dire's top
he
tower
gets the
is under
BKB. He's
attack.
going Lincolns too.
Yeah, I mean, hate to repeat it, but what are you going to do against BKB? You need to kite them out.
Yeah, defense, defense.
It's possible to
defensive
kite them
items.
out. You know, the lower the BKBs get, the higher your chances to win, of course. But I feel these first couple of BKB fights are just going to be, like, they're going to break their back. The only thing that goes through it is overgrowth.
So far, it's just the BKB on the DK.
Oh, he actually did not commit for a BKB on Wraith King. Okay, he went back into an AC instead, which adds more tankability for the whole team as well.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower is under attack.
When you don't have damage.
I mean, I like it
struggle even more.
anyways. Like, if you use all your spells to burst him down once, he'll just get back up again.
Yep.
And then you don't have enough physical damage to take him down afterwards. So, like it quite a bit. We'll have to see if he goes back into BKB after, or into the Abyssal Blade. Or he does go back into BKB.
He's
Dragon
at
Knight,
least
DD
got it
bottled
queued
up. Euros has to be a bit careful, has the Lincolns though. FY tipping out. Now 700 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter.
It almost feels like he has to get that Ags, and then it has to be perfect on FY.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. A spear onto the Wraith King here. A little bit of trouble. But he actually got pushed by the spear onto the opposite
Other side. That feels bad.
Oh,
and now
Eurus
they're
got
already
caught.
popping the Lincolns. They've got the Shackle with the Hex. They should have the damage. Eurus gone. 74 seconds. He's got no buyback, and the rest of the team is in trouble.
FY also got caught in the back line.
Oh no, he can't afford to die again.
Buyback on FY available, but he doesn't want to buy back here. Like, it
No,
would
he really
reset his
doesn't.
entire timing. So they might just have to give up 1 Rex here. Weaver, no buyback. You see, even with those 2 defensive items, he still just gets blown up. That's why I'm a big hater of these 2 items together.
And PYW, he's just right there at the right time.
Yeah.
Can do it from such a distance away where he pops the Lincolns, then
so
he has
scary.
everything ready to go.
Even that Lincoln feed, you know, either shock into Hex is still very fast.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's just going to be mid-Rex here.
Radiant's middle tower
Solar Crest finished for the Treant. Not sure if that's going to do enough.
has fallen.
It just comes back to like what I said earlier. I feel like
Radiant's middle
Elephant is a very passive team that really thrives in late game, but this draft is not in their favor in late game at all. Like they play very defensively, farm up their items, but they just fall further and further behind. And you can see here, it just feels like they're like not playing to win this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the gold advantage is just rising steadily for VG. We have not seen any aggressive move from Elephant here at all.
They only have 8 kills, and that was like 1 on Erica when he was caught out of position.
It was all early game.
Yeah. There hasn't really been much since, I think that kill on Erica in the jungle, right?
Yeah, that was pretty much the last one. Actually, I do think there was the last. No, the Dragon Knight there at the triangle was the last one they had.
Right.
Now though, Roshan is up. That's going to be the next point of contest for both teams. Pangolin picked up a bash up. Bash on Mars.
Rolling Thunder with the bash. Ooh, they've got the Soulbind, so that stops the Rolling Thunder from moving. Do they have the damage? The Serpent Wards are committed onto this. Erica jumps in, and they just don't have the damage to even kill off Old 11, who's back to rolling around in this fight. Yang gets away, but he's bashed up once again, trying to run with BKB running out of duration. They've got the disarm onto the DK, but still, Yang hit with the Wraith Fire Blast. A couple more right clicks coming from Erica. They'll get the kill onto the Mars, who buys back, and Somnus is just killed with no buyback himself, and so is Red Panda. This game is looking like the beginning of the end now, as they have just destroyed
And GG.
Elephant.
That's
And
a very
yeah, they
subtle
just get
GG call, but they also recognize the fact that their lineup is not programmed to play until late game. They were supposed to win this game in the mid game, did not manage to do so. VG held them off.
Get a 2-0. I mean, that is probably the most impressive victory for Vici up to this point. I thought that was going to be a much closer series.
Yeah, and I now believe that 3 teams are gonna, like the top 3 are already confirmed. I don't think any other team can
One
get 5
slot
wins.
left, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, congrats to VG. You know, they made it to the major. We had our doubts at the beginning. They looked a little bit shaky, especially Ori. But Ori, well, he's a beast again. He owned game 1, he owned game 2. They know exactly what they need to do. Their drafts are on point. Communication seems to be really flawless as well. Definitely a major contender again.
Yeah, there was questions in the beginning of the season on whether or not Vici were going to perform as well. They seemed a little shaky in their first couple matchups. They look good there. You know, they still have a chance to take first.
They do.
It's pretty crazy. Vici, they're making a jump. Elephant still just underwhelming. And, well, to break that down a little bit more, we've got the panel. Back over to you guys.
Vici Gaming on the warpath. An absolute demolition here. First Asta last week, now Elephant today. This team is really making it known why they are one of the strongest teams in the region. My goodness, what a performance from them here in game number 2.
As Weaver says, pattern is complete. And it is. It's either 2-0 or 0-2 for Vici Gaming so far. And this is just confirming it. Great draft overall. Like, they understand their timing once again. 2 supports, PYW, and his partner are just doing so much work. You know, the rotations, the positioning-wise. But to be a bit more negative about things, you know, I'll talk about Somnus's build. I don't think I've seen a lot of useful builds throughout the history in the pubs, competitive Dota. Falcon Blade into Witchblade Urn on top of that, and then into Boots of Travel. Like, I'm not sure like what he's thinking, like what is his job is in this
I'm not
game.
sure he is as well.
I mean, I've seen it, but...
I've seen the same build in pubs many times, definitely as well. It's a popular one. It's just that I'm not sure really in this game what do you build to actually have more impact, because the game itself for Elephant was really uneventful, and the whole game overall was, before this team fight, I would say the game already felt kind of completely swinging in Vici Gaming's side around the mid-tier 1. After they got that tier 1, Wraith King was also already around 400 gold away from Radiance, and you can see that Elephant are going to struggle heavily to dish out the damage. This is something that we talked about during the draft analysis as well. There's just no damage coming from Elephant.
Yeah.
And
But
go ahead.
for me, I want to ask you guys a question, because it seems to be a recurring factor in these Elephant games in that they're not really making plays. Like, I don't really see them going to make that much happen. They always seem to be running away. Is that what you guys have noticed as well? And if so, why might that be?
It's most of the time because, you know, when you're on the loser side, you can't be making these many aggressive moves on the map. You're trying to farm up a certain item. You missed your timings, so it's kind of hard to play. Just judge from the, you know, those games that they lost. But yeah, I think Black had a good point where they play a bit more for the late game instead of just being aggressive early on, unlike Vici Gaming, who tend to build up the advantage early, keep the ball rolling. Just
Yeah. And we
solid performance. Vici Gaming can't wait. You know, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but I would definitely love to see them play against other top-tier teams from other regions.
They're 5-1 now. There's another Aster is 5-1 as well, and
I'm a bit
Gaming,
slow with the math
6-0.
unless it's on Wikipedia in the
Yeah.
green. I don't trust anyone else.
I'm fairly sure they are guaranteed, but I don't know for certain. We'll get some confirmation on that soon. But we can have a look at our MVP for this second game of the series, and it's going to be PYW on the Sherman. You
Yeah,
know,
let's
the
give him one.
posthumous MVP for last game, but also a great performance in this game as well.
Yeah, after that first game,
MVP with
it
0
was-
kills, huh?
it was stolen
0
away
deaths.
from him. Kills 0 and 0 deaths. Right.
0-0-15.
Was he actually? Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
0-0-15 in this game. I just noticed
That
as
is
well.
a
yeah.
support KDA. That is like the ideal support KDA. You might not like it, but that's what it looks like.
He just knows. Like,
0 deaths, man. Like, that's pretty
And
much
0 kill steals.
Yeah, 0 kill
That's some
steals
happy
as well.
carries right there.
But really, this 0 deaths is a testament to what draft of Elephant was like. They
Yeah.
just couldn't find kills across the map. Sometimes, if Wraith King is alone pushing the tier 2, they kill him twice, or if Dragonite without that BKB just jumps in, yeah, sure, but overall throughout the game it was very difficult for them to take a single fight, and that comes down to having heroes that catch but don't deal damage. Your Mars, your Treant in the same team. Usually you want to see Mars Phoenix, not Mars Treant, or Treant
Yeah.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
not the two of them together.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, if they don't have the catch for PYW, then you're going to get punished for it. You know, when he's on his Shaman, if you don't get on top of him, then he's going to get on top of you. And
like
you don't want
EMP
PYW on
messes
top
up
of
with
you.
him, Tornado, to cancel the shackle. They needed to like play around it, but then there's Abaddon that can cover the Shaman, one of the reasons why he had 0 deaths. It's not an easy matchup to play, like Shaman into Invoker, into Weaver, who can cut into backlines, into Mars Arena. You get caught inside the arena, you're pretty much dead if you don't have any kind of save. But yeah, his positioning has been excellent throughout this, not just game, but whole series.
Yeah, PLW really on fire right now, along with Ori and Vici in general, looking like an absolute Goliath team right here in the region. And talking about the region, we can have a look at how those all-important standings are looking right now. And we will, of course, see Vici now with that game win. It puts them ahead, 2 points ahead of Elephant, which is huge for them. So they're now 5-1, Astra 5-1, IG are 6-0. Man, things are really starting to heat up here at the top. IG, you know, they're up there at 6-0, but I don't think they're feeling too comfortable with Astra and Vici breathing down their necks. Meanwhile, Elephant, they are 3-3, which is going to put them kind of close to LGD, who will be playing tomorrow. So everything's looking very, very tight. You know, Elephant kind of aren't in control of their own fate
Yeah,
right now.
we have our top 3 already, right? Like Invictus, Team
Yeah.
Astra, and Vici Gaming, they are
Has
top
to be,
3.
yeah.
They have to be top 3 after this series, so we know that they're confirmed. Now it's all about because we have 4 slots coming from the
We do
Chinese
indeed,
region.
yep, 2 wild cards.
Yeah, so maybe Elephant, maybe PSG LGD.
Yeah, it's all heating up down there. But yeah, at the top, we know exactly what's going on. But let's have a look at our series, which is coming up tomorrow. As, of course, I did just mention, we're going to be seeing, I believe, LGD playing versus eHome in that best-of-3 series. And that one is going to decide a lot. Because if LGD take the win, then they're going to close the gap on Elephant and be right on top of them, neck and neck, which is going to suggest tiebreakers.
Yeah.
We also have Elephant are going to be playing against Magma next week. So And I can't remember who LGD play against next week, but nevertheless, it is all.
I feel like we always say, you
Goodness
know,
me.
this is an important series. It's
Yeah.
because of the format. You only
Yeah.
play each team once, so like everything is really important to take seriously. You can't afford to lose. So yeah, but definitely the one tomorrow, very important for both of the teams.
It really is. It really is. LGD need that win to try and close the gap onto Elephant and try and tie things up there at the bottom. But yeah, for the series, we're all done. Guys, how do we think that top 3 is looking right now? Because obviously, IG, they're yet to lose a series, so I think it's very hard to actually put them anywhere other than top in the power rankings. And we saw Aster beating Vici, so we saying IG, Vici, Aster is your 1, 2, 3?
That's fair enough. IG definitely securing that first spot because they've been the most stable team in the region from the beginning of the DPC league. They dropped a couple of games, but no series. Meanwhile, Vici Gaming and Aster looked much stronger at the beginning, and I would say that they were the favorite in that matchup in the first few weeks. Right now, I'm not so sure anymore. I think Vici Gaming, they've discovered some new strategies, some new drafts, which are looking very strong in their hands.
It's hard to say, you know, like who's the best because it's super competitive against like these top 3, even like top 4, 5 teams. Like you can feel the rest. eHome's not performing. LBZS and Magma, they're just not the caliber of the top tier teams that we're seeing right now on the top 3. So hard to say. I think any of these teams, if they just played like 10 games, 10 series, it's going to be like super competitive. I don't think like any of these teams would just beat them 9-1, let's say.
Yeah. Well, the Singapore Major is obviously on the cards here for these teams. That's what everyone's battling to qualify to. And for my last question of the day, guys, I do want to ask
What did we learn?
No.
No? Okay.
No, go in a different direction this time.
We're
How do
switching.
you think the top Chinese teams are going to play out versus the top EU teams? Because that's what everyone's really thinking about when it comes to the international stage.
I think they're going to be matched up nicely. I think like Virtus Pro is up there. Like Virtus Pro
True.
looks super strong, better than
EU
like
CIS, I guess would have been.
like
Yeah.
we can combine that. Like Team Secret definitely looks, you know, they're still a step ahead of some of these teams in terms of like execution and just like general understanding of the current meta. But I feel like we might see maybe like 3 Chinese teams in top 5, I would say.
Yeah, that's really fair.
Yeah.
Just looking at the way they play and the way they match up with other regions, we haven't seen too many of those games, but versus SCA, LBZS already proving a pretty big point right there after taking down Neon 2-0. So
China has always, you know, been like a strong region. They always had good teams, like compared to, let's say, like South America, where there's like big difference in terms of skill between like top 1, top 2, and the rest of the squads. But yeah, China historically has been very competitive, and they always have like 1, 2, even like 3 good teams, and
Yeah.
even 1 dark horse.
it's all about the innovation as well. I think that's something that EU has got going a little bit better. Like,
Yeah,
and
sure.
you can see that before maybe Chinese teams, they would be reluctant to copy, to take these drafts away, but here you can already see Alchemist, if it's picked by Secret or OG, we're gonna make it work, we're gonna try and incorporate that. And the team fighting and just strategical aspect of the game, Chinese teams are always the superior ones.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And I think the also very interesting point to raise in EU versus EU versus the Chinese region is that with the Chinese region, we've got like a kind of bigger cycle of new players, I'd say. All these players coming from the, you know, second division and what's it called, like rookie teams, training teams.
Academy teams.
Academy teams, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if that's going to make the difference here and bring in that extra X factor which it needs for China to get the advantage. I mean,
This is why China was always strong, because they were taking the talent from like tier 3, tier 2 teams, building it up, and then putting it in the level 1, tier 1 squads, this is how they worked, and this has been working for them for years almost.
Yeah, might be the fact they need to get the advantage over some of these top teams like Virtus Pro, Prodigy, well, just Virtus Pro now, and Team Secret. But of course, we don't know, and we can't know until we make it to the major. So, well, still a little bit of a time away, but it's going to be very exciting when we get there. But from today, we are all done with the Dota. But make sure you tune in tomorrow for LGD versus eHome here at the DPC Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. But from today, we're saying goodbye, and thanks for watching.
Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah, facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, and get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away.